Hello. Say hello for the world.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello there.
This is the
Uh,
pilot session of Mobile Suit Gundam Remnant Braves 0088. Today's day is October 27th, 0087. I'm already lying to you, you see. Patch,
Hi.
camera pans to you. You're inside a mobile suit. What does the camera see?
Am I inside of my mobile suit?
Yep.
All right. This is GM2, right?
No, it's a Hyzak.
Oh, I'm in a Hyzak.
Yeah,
Okay. I'm in a Hyzak.
you're in a
Um,
Hyzak. You're in a green Hyzak in a black
I'm in a
uniform.
green. Oh, I see. I see what's going on here. Um, so I'm in my Hyzak. I'm wearing my normal suit. I've gone through sort of all the proper safety procedures. Checking off, checking everything off the checklist that exists in my mind. Very procedural, very doing it, making sure I'm doing everything by the books. In As far as the actual cockpit, I'd say the mechanical layout of the screens and everything is fairly standard. There's a couple personal effects. He's got like a map of the local area that maybe he like cut out of a like a newspaper or a magazine or something that he found. He likes maps. He
You're
thinks they're neat.
currently in
Um,
Mali. It's the African
okay,
desert. It is very hot.
all right. Um,
I'd like you to make me. Actually, forgot what the camera
oh,
pans to
can I?
you. What do you
Oh,
look like?
me? Oh.
Yeah,
Okay. Sorry, forgot. I thought you said somebody else's name. I'm about like 6'4", I think we settled on. But sort of like wiry build, kind of skinny, awkward, does not carry the height well. Um, Shoulder length, like kind of light lilac gray hair. Um,
age.
18. I am but a s- but a fresh face to this war. Um, and Fairly standard Titan's normal suit.
I'd like you to make me a keen composure at a -3.
Oh, all right. What's my keen? Let's find out. You're right with me using physical dice?
I love physical dice.
Okay, cool. Um,
In the recording, you
this
will
is a
hear me.
1. This is a 1 to hit. Um, if it's at a -3, because my composure is 0. Yeah, that's not a 1.
Actually, you
Um,
needed a 2 because lowest possible dice roll is always a success, and highest is always a failure.
oh, good point. Um, oh shit. I put that in the wrong category because it's different on ASRD. 7 failures.
Please mark that down.
Gotcha. Have done so.
Excellent. In front of you, you see a convoy of trucks, several with holes, passing by several wrecks of other trucks that are aflame, people running from them. Your breathing is fast, your chest feels tight.
So this is after some kind of attack, right? And they're fleeing the scene.
Mhm.
Is this Are these the enemy that supposed to shoot at? I suppose I'm feeling rather confused, conflicted. There's a lot happening. I can feel like my heartbeat pounding in my ears. My Have the helmet on. The only thing I can hear is my own breathing and whatever's coming in over the radio. It's just chaos, just sheer
And you know what's
chaos. This is
coming over
the
the
enemy,
radio
right?
is shoot them, Don't let them get away. Shoot them.
Yes, sir. Yes, Captain. And
As
that's what I was waiting for, a
you,
direction. And I
you
aim my rifle and I open fire.
Lance,
Indeed.
I'd like you to make me a tact firearms systems
Tact firearm systems, correct?
with a +3.
Okay, so putting that together, that is going to be a threshold of 13. I'm going to go roll my 3d6. If I can click on the button correctly. That is a 7 under 13
That's 7 successes.
for 7 successes.
Patch, as you raise your
Yes.
beam rifle, the arm holding it is hit by a beam and melts, and the rifle clatters to the ground. A gem in AU colors falls right in front of you.
I sort of like jerk the control back. This is, I didn't even see this coming. What the fuck? And I'm sort of grasping around for any kind of weapon. I've lost my beam rifle, and I know I should probably be going for it, but I'm going to go try to reach for a beam saber or something instead. Everything's just kind of happening too fast. It's a very quick erosion of any kind of procedure that you're supposed to follow in this situation. Just panic.
Patch, Lance, I'd like you both to make me grit, melee, reactor. Patch, please do this as a -3.
Okay. Grit. What is my melee? And reactor?
Yes.
Okay, and at a -3, that is an 8, and I'm going to put it in the right threshold box this time. Because this is, the layout is opposite for the ASRD sheet, and that's what I'm used to. Ha, that's 3 failures.
Lance.
That is 1 failure on my end.
Lance, would you like to spend a narrative point and turn that into a +1?
I think I will, because that's a great time to introduce that as a tutorial for people who haven't played before. So yeah, I will cash in a narrative point to retroactively provide a +1 to the roll and make that 1 success.
Did we roll narrative points?
Did
I
not roll
did.
narrative points, and I would. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
What did we get go by?
7.
All right, we
We've
have
got 7.
6 now.
Yeah, 6 now.
All right, excellent.
Cool.
So, other things you can do narrative points for those who are less familiar with the system. Looking at you, Vinny, and Mark. Before you make a roll, you can give yourself a +2. You can spend a narrative point to make a check to have combat fatigue, something I'll explain later in more detail when it becomes relevant. And after you make a roll, you can give yourself +1, or you can re-roll. Big thing about re-rolls, though, is re-rolls cannot be re-rolled. So if you use a bonus or a narrative point, that's all you get. So, Lance, you have this Titan in front of you who just shot at a bunch of fleeing civilians. Describe how you dispatch him.
Lands just quickly before, like in the blink when he lands the gym, the beam saber has already come up, deactivated, activates in a passing cut, severing the arm at the elbow, then deignites again and presses against the cockpit, and there's just a laugh. oh my God, you Titans guys suck more than I thought. Targeting civilians? Naughty. Power down, or I'll turn you to ash.
I didn't. Please don't kill me. I didn't know.
I hear a lot of blubbering and not a lot of powering down.
I'm powering down. I'm powering down. I'm powering down. I
You
power
see,
down.
you
My
see the
high side.
mobile suit eye go dim. Lance, what are you feeling in this instant?
Contempt.
The
And
can
also the usual thrill. Without killing the pilot, he again forced a submission and disarmed it, quite literally.
Please add a victory to yourself, Lance.
I will do so.
Patch. Um, you power down your mobile suit, yet you can still, in the radio inside your helmet, hear your father go, Patch! Patch! Just yelling it over and over and over again.
And as much as I want to respond and to call for help, I'm sort of in this moment thinking that, I mean, if I call over the radio, one, it'll, you know, obviously signal to whoever's got me here that I'm trying to call for help and he'll probably kill me. But also, maybe I sort of think back to how things have been going over the past few weeks and over this deployment. And this is not what it was supposed to be, these things that I'm doing and the people that I'm hurting. I mean, apparently I was just shooting at civilians again. I can't, this isn't what I want. This isn't what this is supposed to be. And maybe this is a chance to get away from all of this, like I've been thinking, and start over as somebody new. So I don't answer and I let
O-
the radio disconnect.
Over the
Um,
contact comms, Lands is going to say, "Pop bat, please."
actually, um, Patch, as you hear, um, even as you after you turn off your radio and take off your helmet, you keep hearing your dad going, Patch, Patch, and then you are shaken awake. Patch, get up, and you see First Lieutenant, actually no, Second Lieutenant Nakato working, a mechanic. Get up.
Oh fuck. Uh, uh
You
yes,
hear
sorry.
you hear the
Like kind of
hum
jumps right up.
of several jet engines. You're on a Doomla with Karaba main force. You're currently in East Africa. Get up, kid. You got work to do.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Yes, sir. Um, what do you need?
Well, he looks at this piece of paper. Looks like you and I are going on a little field trip. He hands it to you.
Oh, what do I see on this piece of
You
paper?
see transfer orders to a brand
Ooh,
new spaking unit, the first independent Karabo Mobile Brigade.
is this where you're sending me?
Well, it's where the director wants you.
Okay. Um, okay. What do I need to do to prepare?
Well, apparently we need to make it to Hangar 5.
All right. Um, let me just get my stuff and I'll be right there.
Patch, uh, you turn to your
Yes.
right, you grab your duffel bag, and you have everything you own in this world.
And I am holding it very close to me. I do not have much left. I've had to leave a lot of that behind coming here. Um, I suppose I followed to the hangar, so if that is where we are going.
Yes.
Okay.
Hangar 5, that is. When you get there, you see a bunch of Jims and Nemos hanging about. This is for H Company, as your orders put it down. First team. You see a bunch of pilots just trying to get to know one another. You know, a lot of them have been through a couple battles with Titans, especially in North America. But this is a brand new unit for a special job. What that is, you don't know, but you want to find out.
Um, do I sort of, I guess, recognize anybody as far as who would be sort of the most in charge, or someone who I should talk to as far as orders go?
You see, just sort of looking around, you see a captain, red hair.
All right. Um, I suppose that would be who I approach. I'm not. I imagine I'm not exactly on great terms with most of the pilots here if I am familiar with them, because I presume they would know where I am from and the circumstances of how I got here, and they might not have very favorable opinions of me. Um, so my chances, I guess, of making friends, at least at the moment, are probably not very high. Um, unless I guess I see anyone I recognize amidst the crowd.
You walk
Um,
over to this captain. A couple people, spare you a look.
he's just kind of very awkwardly, like, holding the strap of both hands on like the strap of his bag, kind of fidgeting with the buckle. Um, and he's like, "Excuse me, Captain," and like stands at attention.
He turns around. Yes, warrant officer. He looks down at your collar tabs.
I've just been assigned, transferred here.
Mr.
Ma-
Patch was in it, right?
yes, that's me. Yes, sir.
Let's see. Lands.
Ah!
I have a
Lance pops out of his
question.
cock.
Perry, I have a question. When Lance
Yeah.
comes walking on over, um, how does he hold himself and what does he look like?
He holds himself very. It's strange. It's a mix of laid back and yet alert. Kind of like a languid pace. And overall, the thing that is most odd about Lance is how physically weak he looks
Yeah, how
when
short
you
is
glance at him.
Lance again?
He's only 5'8", which isn't very short, but it's just as if something went wrong when he was growing, is the best way to put it. And a familiar voice rings out when he spots Patch and goes, "Oh, it's the Blubberer! Welcome aboard."
He just kind of like flinches, and is like, "Oh, um, uh, hi. Are you also here?" Stupid, stupid question. Um, good to see at least somebody I recognize. It probably looks a little silly that somebody who, I mean, like, Patch doesn't look particularly physically strong, but it is probably a little comedic to imagine this, like, 6'4" guy looking absolutely terrified by the guy who just showed up.
And Lance sticks out his hand and goes, "Oh, of course. I figured you'd feel that way. It's why I requested you personally."
His face just kind of goes pale, um, but he just kind of like tries to shake it off, and sticks out his hand. He's like, thank you, I guess." um, and shakes his hand. I look forward to working with you. I'm at least you're somebody who I know.
And you're
Well,
a hunter. So just keep up the pace and we'll be fine. We're going to raise
Okay.
hell. We're going to deal a boot blow to those Titan bastards right in their neck.
well, looks like Hunt certainly had reasons to choose you, Lance. Well, the captain gives you his hand patch. Use respect.
Um, nice to meet you.
He shakes your hand. I'm in charge of H Company. He's, yeah, in charge of H Company, 3rd Battalion. This here is First Lieutenant Lands next. He is in charge of First Team. Lands, if he would please introduce Mr. Patch to the rest of the team.
Absolutely, sir.
And
And
he looks at
Lane
his
snaps off.
watch. We should have a briefing in 1 hour.
Lane snaps off a lazy salute and goes, "All right, warrant officer, come with me."
He just kind of nods and follows.
You know,
So, how's your time in the AEUG been so far? It's been a while since we last spoke. You were very different then.
psst,
Um,
psst, Karaba.
it's been it's been
AEUG/Karaba, it'll work.
it's been an adjustment, I guess. For the better. Uh, uh, I don't know. I still getting my still getting my footing, I suppose. A lot of people don't trust me, but I don't really expect them to trust me. I guess it would it be too much to ask for you to advocate for me? I guess. I mean, considering I don't know.
Advocate for you? What do you mean?
Well, that I'm not. I mean, nobody's said it to my face, but I just kind of get the impression that people think I'm here for. I have ulterior motives, I guess, or I'm not here for the right reasons.
My advocacy for you is me personally requesting you for my team. If anyone gives you problems, just direct them my way and I'll have a talk with them. That I can promise you, warrant officer. As long as you're under my
Thank you.
command, I've got your back.
Lance
Now,
just wants to talk.
yeah, Lance just wants to talk.
Yeah.
Now, we're wasting precious daylight, especially when you have our other lovely compatriots to meet in our first team. Like I said, we're going to be tip of the spear for H Company. We're going to be kicking ass and putting boots on necks. You want a chance to prove everyone wrong? This is where you're going to get it. Drinking and fighting. Those are the two qualities we need here.
The two
All
of you
right.
stop in front of a foot of a gym 2. Behind it is a man. Uh, Mark, what does this man look like when the camera pans upon him?
He's got a bit of a tan. He's got dark hair. It's a little bit longer than military regulation. He's got dark green eyes, and he's just kind of looking a little bit anxious when he looks over.
You know, they do things differently in Karaba. So how you feeling about this upcoming assault on Kilimanjaro? You don't know what this entire transfer business is about, but you do know the assault on Kilimanjaro is happening.
Just anxious and really hoping he doesn't screw it up. This feels a bit like the only chance he's gonna get
Only chance?
for what he wants.
Aren't you 27? Something to that effect? 29?
Yeah, the only chance to actually be put into a fight. After that, if he screws up, he might be put into some kind of supply role or something.
I see, I see. Well,
Clyde!
Yeah, boss.
The new guy's here. Come say hello.
Clyde, in the back of your head, you think, aren't we all the new guy? You know, this
Kind of.
unit did not exist as of 24 hours ago, so
He's gonna come over. I both the first lieutenant and the warrant officer, and then just quietly shake the warrant officer's hand. Good to meet you.
Good to meet you too. I'm Warrant Officer Patch Arnold Beaumont Burning. You do not have to say all of that. You can just call me Patch. Uh, and and you are?
Clyde B. Harper. You can call me Harper for second lieutenant.
Nice to meet you.
He's just gonna kind of keep his eyes on him, and then go back to what he was doing.
Clyde, what are you thinking about this guy?
Seems a bit green. Could be a pretty good spy to emulate that, but
I would like you to
a
roll
little.
me a keen in academics.
All right. Keen 4, academic 0. Two ones.
Oh, please give yourself an awakening point. You know Patch's
Oh man.
entire deal,
I
including the
actually don't.
including
I don't need that.
including the fact that his father is a Gundam pilot, but a Titan. Which begs the
Do I need to mark?
question, why is he here?
Where's the
Yeah.
caveman?
Do I need to mark down awakening points?
It should be in meta.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I have the old type.
Oh, never mind
Oh,
then.
yeah.
Ignore
No.
that.
Can you donate it? We all get like
Actually-
0.25 of an awakening point.
Actually, I heard a very good idea is if you cannot get an awakening point and you roll critical, I'm going to give you back another narrative point. You now have 7 again.
Huzzah.
More Destiny
On?
Dome.
Yeah, so you know his entire deal, including the bit about the war crimes that he may or may not have committed.
Clyde probably doesn't believe that part now, but still suspicious.
Always vigilant. Hey, Patch.
Yeah.
Mobile suit teams are 4 members. Lance, Clyde, and you makes 3. So where's number 4?
Lance is
Um,
practically staring at Patch as if waiting for that question, playing with his peaked cap.
he's just kind of like looking around, and then he turns to Lance and is like, is there anyone else
Yeah,
who I should meet?
Second Lieutenant Duos, but he's kind of depressing to be around as a heads up. Like,
Oh,
you're the newest new guy by like an hour, but he showed up 4 hours ago. And I don't know, he just has that aura of sadness around him that people get. Anyways, let's go meet him.
okay.
What do they find when they see you, Duos?
So the first thing they see is a Haro rolling on the ground at the feet of a dull seafoam mustard and purple colored GM2. When they follow the legs up, they notice a boom lift with a person on it, with a respirator and a spray gun painting onto his shield.
Patch. Even you know
Yep.
this. And as you can clearly see about the other mobile suits around you, this is not a squadron color. Which can only mean one thing. This guy's an ace. He earned those colors.
Well, obviously knowing that, I mean, he has maintained a respectful demeanor towards everybody he's encountered so far. Um, but he sort of like makes more of a point, I guess, to stand at attention. One, like trying to crane his neck to see who this guy might be. Um, there is also just that little bit of like, oh God, this guy's probably killed a lot of people who are of a similar former allegiance to me. this could present problems. Um, but just the general being nervous and what's the word? Uncomfortable in the situation. But do I see him up there?
Yes, yes, you do. What does Duelist exactly look like?
So it's kind of hard to see. You can see his hair is in a ponytail, capped off by what looks like an ex Xeon field cap with all the insignia cut away from it. He's currently only down to a long sleeve t shirt with his Karaba bomber jacket hanging off of the handrails of the boom lift. He's currently spraying stenciled words on his shield. He's almost done.
Lance. I believe you have someone to introduce.
Lance just kind of cups his hands around his mouth and takes in a deep breath, and then, in a very normal voice, says, "Duos, new guy. Well, newer guy."
He peeks up and turns around, puts his hands on the guardrails of the boom lift. You can notice he has a glove on only one arm, his right arm. Ah, I see. Is this the Titan you beat a conscience into?
I didn't really beat a conscience into him. I cut his hands off, but, well, not his actual hands. Well, I guess they kind of are your actual hands. Anyways,
Patch,
this is
when he says
Patch.
cut hands off, you see a guy behind Lance turn to look at him. As Lance just continues talking as if he didn't say something absolutely deranged.
Yeah, and Lancer just go, "Anyways, this is Warrant Officer Patche Burning. Something else. He's got a second part of his name. Hyphenated, I think it's called."
Hmm.
Yeah. Burning Beaumont, but it's fine. Don't worry about it. It's nice to meet you, sir. Trying not to be too disturbed.
Well, given your former allegiance, I can't quite say I'm pleased to see you, but it seems you are fighting for the right side for once. And you now notice, now that he's bent over, you can see the words Bella Chow painted on his shield in stark white, along with the Karaba emblem and the emblem of a osprey clutching a pink lightning bolt in its beak.
Like I
Uh,
said, he's kind of a buzzkill.
I suppose
I
this is
see
the
what you
part.
mean, I think.
This is the part. I suppose this is the part where you shake hands.
Go get him.
Uh,
And Lance puts a hand on Patch's back and just kind of shoves him forward.
um,
The
Patch.
Haro rolls over to Patch and just shouts, "New member, new member, new member."
Um, Patch like jumps. He did not see the Haro. Um, he's caught unaware by the Haro being there, and is like, "Oh, uh, I guess this is this yours?"
Yeah, don't pay him no mind. I think he's a little haywire.
Well, they all are a little bit.
And,
Well,
Duo
I
hits a couple buttons on the boom lift and comes down and hops onto the floor and puts out his hand.
and Patch shakes it.
Patch.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's a very firm grip, and
It almost
you can
feels not like flesh. Hard. Very hard,
I
actually.
don't I don't think he'd say anything, but I think he's suspecting that this guy probably does not have a hand. Um, And he's also
Duos is
wondering if
also
Lance made said previous comment about cutting off hands while knowing this information.
Duos is also staring straight into Patch's soul.
Um,
Well,
You
on a
see dull
roll.
green eyes with a fire behind them.
Actually, Duos. Please roll me Wrath
Mhm.
Intimidation with your pressure.
oh
Yep.
god.
All right, that is an 8.
How many? Let's see. Player characters, Duos. 3. That's 2
I'm trying not to
failures.
do as many rolls in RP, but that was kind of necessary.
That's 2 failures. You know, with how haggard Duos looks, it's it just seems kind of pathetic at the moment, not actually intimidating. Or maybe it makes you feel kind of bad. It's a strange feeling you're feeling. You're more
Um,
you're more dominated by your feelings of apprehension about
yeah.
getting this guy on your side rather than being scared of him.
He just kind of like nods a little awkwardly. Um, it's less intimidation and more like he's definitely feeling uncomfortable, but it's more like, oh god, this is an uncomfortable social situation rather than I'm scared of this guy. Um, but he gets the feeling that this guy wants him to be scared, so that just kind of adds to the awkwardness. He just like keeps kind of glancing at Lance, um, and awkwardly shaking his hand.
Lance just laughs and says, "Looks like you're still 0-3 so far in the intimidation trick, Duos. Better luck next time." And he'll go
I
grab
didn't
Patch.
try it on you or Clyde.
And Lance just waves it off and goes, "Come on, warrant officer, let's get you situated away now that intros are over."
He looks very relieved to be able to leave this interaction. It's like, all right, um, so what am I piloting?
What do you mean, what are you piloting? What do you think this is? The 1-year war? You get a gym.
Okay, well, I mean, I wasn't expecting anything fancy. I just meant, never mind.
What's fancier than a gym?
I guess which one am I piloting?
Your gym.
Okay, which one is mine?
Well, yours.
Oh,
Oh,
um,
you're asking where your gym is. Is that right, warrant officer?
yes. Sorry, I should have been more clear.
Clarity is important in battlefield communications. I'd rather not get stabbed in the back because you told me someone's behind me and didn't say whether they were above or below.
Yes, sir. I will be more clear in the future.
Oh, don't sweat it. You're doing fine. I think your gym too is, and he kind of taps his chin. That one?
You know, it looks
All
like
right.
every Gym 2 in AU colors, you know, green vest, white, rest of it. You know, you've seen mobile suits like this forever. You trained on one of these things.
I suppose it's a small amount of comfort in an otherwise unfamiliar situation. Like at least I know how to pilot a GM. Is sort of what he's thinking. Um,
You know, as the two of you walk away, Clyde, you see a pair approach you. Of, you know, average
The pair
height
of them or
men.
pair of other people?
Yep, you see a first lieutenant and a sergeant walk up to you.
Do I recognize them?
No, but the thing is, you don't recognize most people in this hangar.
I guess I just wait for them to reach me.
The first lieutenant is walking to you with a confident gait, not really paying any mind to anything around him. You when you watch for a second or two, you realize his steps are exactly on beat in the same exact interval every time. And he does a very prim and proper stop right in front of you. You're Second Lieutenant Clyde, right?
Correct.
I am Chevalier Erlenfio. Oh, First Lieutenant and second team. He offers a hand.
Is Comine lagging for anybody else, or is that just me?
There is a slight lag I'm getting from him every now and then. I was wondering if it was going to
Yeah,
clear up. You might want
I
to
was.
real quick reset your stream, go mine, and rejoin the Discord.
Is it better now?
Try saying a full sentence.
Yeah.
There's some real fucked up shit, yo.
Yeah, that came in
That
clear.
sounded
Yeah,
fine.
Is there anything earlier I
heard
said
that
that
clear.
was not clear?
What did the first lieutenant say?
Chevalier Lenfio, as he offers his hand. First Lieutenant. Second team.
Would I have heard that before?
No.
I shake his hand.
He's silver hair, silver eyes, relatively tall. You do notice the accent though. It's a very faint Xeon accent.
I kind of narrow my eyes at him a bit.
And he gestures to the sergeant next to him. This is Kolos Emigre. Kolos nods, sir.
I nod back, and I look, and then I'm just staring daggers at Linfio.
Chevalier, or you can call me Chev.
Understood. Do you need something from me,
Oh,
sir?
I'm just trying to make my acquaintance to everyone.
Mm.
Let's see. What'd you do during the war?
I was with the Supply Corps.
Which front?
I went all over the place. Medea's and then Columbus's after we pushed the Zeeks off Earth. You?
He closes his eyes and nods. Earth Attack Force. North American front.
Clyde has a bit of a twitch in his eye. Interesting.
And Kolos, you said you were a normal sailor, correct? And Kolos nods, yes. I only became a pilot after the war. And then Chev says, you wouldn't happen to know where your commanding officer is?
I point past me.
Well, thank you, Lieutenant Clyde. Kolos, if you would follow me. And you see Chev put both of his hands behind his back and briskly walks away. Clyde, what are you thinking right now?
I'm just staring at him. I'm just running through scenarios in my head.
Well, what kind of
Of,
scenarios?
is he to be trusted? Where all he can get to, what all he can sabotage.
Why wouldn't you trust him?
It's the own accent.
You know, actually, it's more than that. He said Earth Attack Force. That means when he's one of Garma's men, or at least indirectly.
All Xeon are kind of a same level of hatred.
I
Would they
see.
have participated in Operation British?
Most likely.
Mm. I was thinking of ways, thinking of scenarios where he could kill him quickly if possible, but only if necessary. Only if he does something.
I see, I see. Patch lands. You get up to the mobile suit cockpit. Patch, when you get in, it looks like a pigsty. This was clearly someone else's relatively recently.
Patch, being somebody who likes to keep his environment very clean and was very proud of maintaining the upkeep on his own mobile suit, um, and keeping everything regulation standard. Like the only non-regulation things he had in his cockpit were like photographs or something. So his face just a momentary like visible look of disgust. He kind of glances over at Lance and he's like, are you sure this is mine?"
Lance's eyes narrowed as soon as he saw the miss, and he's looking very displeased as he just flicks his eyes back over to Patch and goes, "Unfortunately, it would appear whoever was in your mobile suit last does not share an appreciation for these wonderful machines."
Well, I can agree with you on that. I guess I'll have
Patch,
to.
when you
Yeah.
get into the seat, you notice that the family photos are still in the cockpit. And, you don't leave those behind.
Oh, that would
Patch
explain it.
doesn't want to ask the question that comes to mind. Um, but he's pretty sure he knows why nobody's cleaned up this mobile suit. And he is not going to enjoy the task of sort of taking those down and replacing them with his own later. Um,
Here, I'll give
it
you a
just
hand, Warrant Officer. And Lance just
hmm?
starts taking the photos down with very little hesitation.
Thanks. Um, I guess I'll have to clean this up myself then, for it can be of any use.
You probably want a hose.
Yeah. Got any like deep cleaning supplies in this hangar?
You'll want to talk to the mech heads for that.
Okay. It doesn't have any other like damage or anything I should be aware of, right?
Well,
Not
I
that
would.
you can visibly see.
Okay.
I'm sure the tech's got it all fixed up.
All right. Well, he kind
Before,
of looks
before,
around the mobile suit cockpit and he's like, I guess we're going to be working together. So, suppose cleaning is one way to get to know your machine.
you know, before Lands walks off, Patch, is there any icebreaker questions you'd like to ask?
Um, I guess, Pat, how much does Patch know about what specifically this mission is going to be?
Uh, you know what you're doing is somehow related to the attack on Kilimanjaro. But the fact that you're being transferred to a unit called the Independent Mobile Brigade uh, probably means you have a special task for your unit specifically.
Okay, that's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't being like in character stupid. Um, and so Patch is like, I one quick question. Um, we're an independent mobile brigade, so that means we're going to be split off from the main forces, and presumably we have something that is specific to our words. Come on, a task specific to our group. What exactly are we supposed to be doing? I guess why are we being singled out here?
That's a really odd question. What else would we be doing? We're here to defeat the Titans.
Well, I know that. I guess any specific mission or
Does it matter as long as we get to fight them? We'll find out at the briefing, and we'll get all the details then, and we'll formulate a plan. But in the end, it'll come down to the same thing it always does: beam saber to beam saber, beam rifle to beam rifle, pilot against pilot.
I guess so.
My advice: just don't worry about it. Just look forward to the next fight.
Look
Well,
forward.
you might not be that type of guy, actually, now that I think about it.
Um, if I may say, sir, I am not that type of guy.
Well, you'll get on board quick enough. It's the only way to stay sane. Or that's what my old mentor used to tell me.
Guess so.
Besides,
Well,
we're
Actually,
curious why I picked
Lance.
you. Yeah, go on.
Actually, I'd like you to make me a keen awareness, please, Lance.
I will do so. So that is a 8/7, so one failure.
I see you don't notice quite yet. Patch, would you like to roll a keen awareness?
sure. I would love to roll a keen awareness. Let me remember what that is for me. It's my awareness. Okay, that is an 8. Ooh. Okay. Threshold's an 8. My result's a 4. That is 5 successes.
5 successes. Down near the hangar floor, you almost feel mistaken for a second, and then you look back on who's walking down there. You see a top 10 ace from the 1-year war.
Do I recognize who they are?
Yes.
By name? Okay.
Yeah, it showed up on propaganda posters every now and then. Your dad has a few posters still from back then. Um, Although he would deny it because, for he got them for the wrong reasons, you see. Down on the hangar floor is Jane Bell Hunt, more commonly known as the Mad Dog.
And he sort of like looks around Lance and notices uh notices her and is like, "Oh, I didn't know that. Oh man, I didn't know that she was here." Uh,
Since this is important to Land's characters, I'm going to put a short pin in this.
yeah,
Let's reconvene in 5 minutes. Go to the bathroom if you need it.
gotcha.
How's everyone feeling?
I'm having fun. I hope I'm not being, I guess, too annoyingly naive and terrified of everything.
Your character, it's what you're supposed to do.
Trying my best.
Also, out of context, Perry saying, be right back, then Pancake saying good.
Be right back. Good. All right. Run
Yeah,
real quick.
anyways, Lance, did you hear that from earlier?
No, sorry.
Do
I had to ninja AFK real.
So what happened was, after you failed your awareness check, Patch made the same check and got 5 successes. On the hangar floor, he noticed a top 10 ace from the 1-year war, Jane Bell Hunt. Lance, you notice Uh, Patch is looking at something. And Patch, I believe you're about to say something.
Um, Patch just kind of like uh, gasps a little, just, recognizes who this is. Um, and sort of before he can contain his reaction, he's kind of like, oh shit, she's here? I'm just
Lands,
surprised to see like somebody he recognizes.
Lands, you turn
Lance
around, and there you see Hunt.
Lance kind of looked grumpy for a second when he realized Patch wasn't listening to him anymore. But then he follows Patch's gaze and he brightens up immediately. He goes, "Oh yeah, there she is. She's the one who taught me. Practically raised me in the cockpit."
Oh,
He will stand up on the edge of the cockpit, leaning very precariously over it, and call out, "Miss Hunt," and give a salute.
How many times do I have to tell you, Lands? Don't lean.
Oh, yep. And he straightens up.
You see him. You see her shake her head.
Patch kind of like sticks his head out of the cockpit, um, and he's like, hi, ma'am, uh, fuck, um, hi." Sort of like meeting a celebrity panic, I guess. Um,
You see Hunt like approach. Get up on the catwalk, and there she is in front of you too. Lands.
Lance is grinning like an idiot. He's like, "Ma'am."
And this is. She looks at Patch.
"Oh, do you remember how I told you about that Titans officer who was going to shoot the civilian truck convoy and I jumped on top of them and cut off their hands with a beam saber and took them prisoner?"
Yeah, you clowned on that guy. Why?
"Tim!" He claps him on the shoulder. "This is Warrant Officer Patch A. Burning something."
Burning, Beaumont. You can just call me Patch.
You mean
Um,
you mean Charles Beaumont, right?
uh, his face sort of pales. Yeah, that's my father.
The one under, or what was his name? Afflamatio, back during the war. That one.
Yeah.
I had to kill that guy a couple months ago.
What do you mean?
Dude, he took my daughter hostage. So,
I'm sorry.
I better not see any suspicious behavior out of you, Mr. Patch.
No,
I vouch for him
none at all.
entirely.
Well, Lance, if you're
I,
wrong
I,
about this, it's your ass.
I think it'll be my head, actually. He's in a perfect position on my six to decapitate me from behind.
I won't do that.
See, he's so disgustingly sincere.
Ugh. Well, we'll see how long that lasts. So, kid, why not just sit out the rest of the war?
I, I don't want to just stand on the sidelines while people get hurt. I want to help people and fight for what's right. And what the Titans are doing is horrible. And what I've done, I guess I need to do something. I can't just stand by are while people are doing things like this. And I guess with everything I've done, and the only way I can make it up to the people I've hurt, or even begin to make it up to the people I've hurt, is by trying to do some kind of good out of all of this. And you might not believe me, and that's fine. I don't expect everyone here to just believe instantly that I've completely turned my loyalty or morality around, but all I want to do is the right thing. And whatever you need me to do to prove that I'm trying, I'll do it.
Lance is giving Hunt the equivalent of when you take your kid to the petting zoo and is making the "can I keep him" eyes at Hunt.
Just stay safe, Lance. See you around, kid.
You too. And he gives her a salute.
Wow, she reacted much better to you than I expected.
Oh,
I was kind
that
of
was
expecting
good.
her to potentially throw you off the cockpit, maybe try to kill you, maybe use you as a hostage to lure your dad into a duel. I would have been sad about that one because I kind of want to duel your dad.
Uh, um,
I need tips.
I get, um, can, can we talk about this later?
Back.
That's,
You have a briefing?
yeah,
Oh, you're right. We got to get to the briefing. Okay. Well, I'm going to ask for those tips regardless, anyways, because I figure how better to know his mind than to know his son? And he taps his head.
okay.
After all, I get told a lot that you can tell a lot about a person based on how their kids turned out, which is why I strive to be the best representation of Miss Hunt's methods possible.
Sorry, I'm trying to hold in my laughter.
Me too. I think
Ugh.
Patch just has a look on his face of like, oh god, I am so screwed.
You know that deep-seated feeling of dread that's in your gut
Yep.
and like it stabs at your heart?
Yep. That's the one.
Don't worry, though, Patch. I promise you, I won't kill your dad if I can help it.
Thank you.
What I would like to do is cut off his hands and maybe the legs of the mobile suit as well, and then yank the cockpit out. That would be a very good trophy. Think about it. We could use it as a sim pod later on. You could get to know how your dad fights. See him at his most stressed, and see him fall, and learn from it, and then get better than it. And then we can fight.
Sir, if you don't mind, I'd like to review these transfer orders before the briefing.
Why? I wrote them myself. I could just run you through them. Let's go. We'll head to the briefing now.
Okay.
I'm surprised you didn't use one of your questions to ask why I brought you here.
I just kind of, I guess, I don't know. I'm relieved that I'm not dead, but I am.
Why? It means you have to deal with me now.
Okay, Why did you want me specifically?
We gotta get to the briefing. You said so yourself.
Oh God. Okay.
Harper, Duos, we're going.
All right, boss. Harper's gonna kind of group up with everybody.
You're all getting together, shuffling towards the same operations room. Lands, Duos. You see a pair from second team, the sergeant and Chevalier from earlier, introduce himself. Chevalier Lenfio. He offers his hand to you, Duos.
Lance bristles.
Well, the alternative, Lands, is he stretches his hand as the two of you are walking across Duos's chest.
Yeah, he should have done it, coward.
What did I miss?
You're currently being introduced to one First Lieutenant Chevalier Lenfio.
Ooh,
Slight
this is
Xeon
the Zeke, right?
accent, 5'10", silver hair, silver eyes.
What did he say to introduce himself?
Hello, Chevalier Lenfio. Second team.
Mm. Second Lieutenant Duos. Pleasure to meet you.
Our other great ace.
Wait, one more time, go mine?
Our other great ace.
Yeah, you flatter me, but
How many
I
victories
don't
was
need
it?
flattery. 28, give or take.
He whistles, mostly because I can't whistle with it actually picking up on mic.
How many you got under your belt?
Four. Four mobile suits, that is. As I did, however, manage to down 9 tanks during the war.
Clyde is just
I can
staring
imagine.
daggers at him.
What was that, Clyde?
I mean,
Clyde's just staring daggers at him.
Lieutenant Clyde, me and Lieutenant Duos here are having a very civil conversation about old war stories. Considering the fact that we were both talking about ostensibly killing one another in the past, I don't believe what you're doing right now to be very, very conducive to our current mission.
Clyde, even though he's a Zeke, we're all fighting the same foe. You need to
For now.
understand that.
Don't worry, Harper. There will always be next round.
Clyde just nods at that and heads on ahead.
Oh, where were you deployed?
North America. You?
I was in Dakar.
Ironfoots?
No, I was there until they took me and threw me into an MS after Dakar was won and the Zeeks were kicked out of Africa.
Oh, so you're infantry.
No. Air.
Oh,
I flew a
air.
Saberfur.
Huh. I think Bucer mentioned something about being in the Air Force as well. What about you, Lieutenant Lance?
Huh? I mean, I was a little too young to see combat in the 1 Year War. Closest I got was when the Xeon forces gassed my colony, and my mom and dad got nerve gassed as well, along with most of my relatives. But I got put on an evacuation shuttle at the last minute by some Fedi troops, got brought to Earth, and Hunt took me in.
You know, it's dreadful business.
Yeah, they
Sorry to hear
even
the one.
knocked our sister colony out of the sky and dropped it on the planet.
Ugh.
Where are you from, Lance? Side 2, but which colony?
Wouldn't you like to know?
I would.
Well, unfortunately, that would pierce my mysterious aura, and I could not allow that this early in the mission. Don't worry, as Hunt says, knowledge is power.
Duos creases it or rubs his fingers on his eyebrows, annoyed.
Lance, but doesn't she also say and that means power is knowledge?
Exactly.
You know, Lance, I thought this whole team bonding thing was your idea.
Well, yeah, but we need to have a few drinks for that. It's not really the time for team bonding. There's a routine to this. We have to go out, we have to get our briefing, we have to go out, we got to defeat the Titans, then we come back, then we get drunk, then we talk.
Aye, fair enough.
Besides, I'm not sure exactly what you want me to say about it. I don't really remember a lot about it. I was a kid.
Mm.
Then after that, I just kind of followed Hunt around. And I fell into a cockpit a few times. Never really saw anything fun, though.
Well, that's usually how great ace stories start. You know, the Federation's White Devil.
Who cares about being an ace?
It's quite a prestigious business. Although I believe Colonel Mista, Lady Mista, is right up there right now, and he Chevalier points over to a woman in a Karaba uniform. Actually, it's a Federation uniform with like Xeon iconography stapled onto like the cuffs and collar. And
Lands
with
being the
a
ranking officer would
bird just hanging on her shoulder. And everyone is treating this as if it's normal.
Lands as, I believe the ranking officer of our little party would just offer a salute on behalf of the group. His hat's obviously on.
Duo salutes but keeps his hat on. He is very fixated on the bird.
Chevalier.
Patch also salutes.
Chevalier. And then Ched says, Lady Mista. And then she looks over to Patch and Lance. Ah, yes, our two special first-timers. She's a blonde woman, about 5'3".
Patch once again looks comedically intimidated by someone who is significantly shorter than him.
By over a foot this time.
Yeah. 1 inch over a foot, but still. I keep forgetting Patch is tall.
He's a gangly little man. Well, not little.
I think
That's
he
part of the
keeps
problem.
forgetting he's tall.
He's recently had a growth spurt.
What'd you say?
He's recently had a growth spurt. He's not used to the height.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe going up into space for a bit does that to you. I don't know.
Oh, he's been up into space?
I think he has.
Well, it's nothing. It's nothing. This is early in the campaign. You can't just make it so off the cuff.
Yeah, he's been up into space once. The Patch space lore can be figured out, but I'm pretty sure he's been to space before.
He was there
Anyway,
on a
sorry.
training exercise where he immediately came back down.
Yeah. He did not like it.
Well, no one likes the vomit comment. Everyone starts
Yeah.
to get into chairs and around a projector says, "Thank you all for coming here on such short notice." The Colonel Mister says, "Welcome all to the inaugural foundation of the Karaba 1st Independent Mobile Brigade. I'm sure we'll all have a great time fighting the Titans."
That's a Freudian slip.
1-year war brain there for a second.
Thing is, that's Gomine having 1-year war brain. This is a Zeke talking.
I know, it's really funny. That's why I'm commenting on it. It was very funny to hear you in real time.
You see,
The
it's
1-year war brain affects everyone.
my reflexive need to kill Zeons.
Damn.
Space.
I'm suddenly feeling very unsafe.
Well, you're not a Zeon, are you? Anyways.
I mean, Patch isn't.
Yeah. Anyways, enough of Gomine talking about Gomine. Let's get Gomine talking as Colonel Mista. And then she points to herself, "I am Colonel Mista Man. And our mission, as given to us by the director, is quite simple." And the projector changes to show you, and it shows you a picture of East Africa. It says, and she points to Mombasa. There is a small oil tanker right off the coast of Mombasa, operated by the Titans. Should we make our attack run on Kilimanjaro, this element, at least regimental in size, would come in to assist. Our job is quite simple. We are to blunt their advance from this offshore oil tanker, as well as attacks from the south. We are going to delouse from the Adula in relatively 3 hours, along with most of our equipment, and over the span of the next 3 days, defend Mombasa until either being recalled towards Kilimanjaro to join the assault, or to go cover the main forces' retreat from Kilimanjaro should we prove defeated. Any questions?
Do we know the forces up against us, Colonel?
In total, besides this oil tanker, we're expecting at least 2 brigades worth of enemies to fight. Although half of those would be EFGF regulars, and we can count per intelligence that they would not try to fight us very hard.
I'm assuming they'd scurry off the second we fired on them with mobile suit-sized weapons.
Honestly, so long as any of you make a pass, or at least a showing of fighting them, I don't think any of them really will want to die at our hands.
I have a charming enough personality. I'm sure I can convince them to lay down their arms.
That you'll see about. Then she looks over. Duos. Lieutenant Duos.
Hey,
And
Mom.
she gives a small smile. Any other questions? She looks around. Excellent. Lieutenant Commander Hunt, if you would. Then Hunt steps up on the stage. We'll be disembarking with base jabbers. Expect during the drop to fight. You see her almost say Zeeks before stopping. Titans are not terribly far away from the city. We're probably going to have to get the crap out of that before or digging in. Acquaint yourselves with your teams, Ames, and your captains with your majors, and so on and so forth. Good luck and good hunting. And this small briefing breaks. Lance, what are you thinking right now?
Lance is semi-bored. This is not a very exciting mission, but he's hoping there will be some good opponents. He's a bit annoyed that it seems like Command wants to do the talking right. But otherwise, he's just paying attention to the briefing and listening as attentively as a semi-bored 20-year-old can.
Clyde, what about you?
He's gonna lean over to Lance and say, "Boss, how many Zeeks are on board?"
I'm not really keeping track, to be honest.
Clyde has like a small look of despair in his eyes.
It's all right, Harper. Just hang in there. I know you don't like them, but they are our commanding officer.
He bristles at that.
What about you, Duos? Following Mr. Man's little speech.
I just hope the Titans put up a good fight and the Federation ground forces just run away.
Patch?
Duos has a fire that needs to be stoked with the corpses of Titans.
Patch, how feel?
Very noticeably relieved when she mentions that the ground forces will likely surrender, and that it seems that the higher ups here don't seem to share his direct ranking officers' desire for blood or extended combat. A little uncomfortable. I mean, he's under no illusion that he isn't going to have to be fighting against other Titans. He knows what he signed up for. Um, but there's a difference between being ready for something in theory and actually realizing, like, I'm going to have to hold a gun to another person and shoot them, somebody who used to be an ally, even if he didn't know them personally. Um, he's hoping that it'll go over as non-violently as possible, though. He thinks that just because people are, just because somebody is in a Titans aligned mobile suit doesn't mean they're a bad person. There's a chance that they're caught up in something they don't fully understand, sort of like he is, or like he was. And he's hoping that he has to take as few lives as possible, I suppose.
I see. I see. Lance, I have one question for you.
Mhm.
Who's your wingman?
I think the one everyone's a little most uncertain about at the moment is Patch. So I imagine Lance will be taking Patch as his wingman
Understood.
for this mission. I think Lance probably rotates who the wingmen are based on the mission, if I'm being real.
Okay, okay, okay.
Gives some good potential for narrative stuff.
As this meeting's breaking apart, Duos, you see Lieutenant Commander Hunt uh, walk directly at you.
Jules is going to stand at attention and salute, Commander.
Lieutenant, could I have a moment of your time?
Yes, ma'am.
The two of you,
He is still holding the harrow in the crook of his arm, by the way.
the two of you walk over to a corner of the room. Duos, you're a good enough pilot
Yes,
to be in charge of your own team. Do you know why I have you here at first team?
I do not, ma'am.
I have you there so you can look after Lance. You're a pilot with a lot
So
more experience than him.
why put me as 2IC and not in charge of him if you want me to look after him?
So, I'm going to tell you this, Duos. Lance is ideal junior officer material. He does need to actually make decisions while he's out here. Especially, we don't know how long this war is going to last. And this kind of experience is very important.
So what you're telling me is I'm the chauffeur on this little field trip.
I actually prefer a babysitter, mate.
That too.
Although there's not something else I would like you to do.
And that is?
Lance, great kid. He sometimes gets a little excited, and he can have some odd ideas about life. If you see the Titans kid acting suspicious at all, I'm expecting for you to know when to make the call to put him down if you have to.
Of course.
And that also includes making sure Clyde doesn't, murder him in his sleep.
That too. Commander, if I may speak freely,
You may.
you are very lucky I have experience babysitting unstable pilots.
I'm a wellspring of luck, then.
Is that all, Commander?
Happy hunting.
God be with you.
The two of you break.
And he
Clyde, you're in the ready room with Patch, and you're getting suited up. And you're about to get on your base jabbers to leave. How you feeling right now? Especially with, who in the room.
Honestly, a lot of that anxiety about Patch being a spy has been replaced by anxiety about being surrounded by Zeeks, and he feels like he could probably handle if Patch does something, but if the Zeeks do something, he's in major trouble.
Deep
He
shit.
is incredibly anxious right now. He
Patch,
probably grabs his camera and a couple photos and tucks them under his arm as he finishes up putting on his suit.
Patch, this is not the first time you've been in combat. It will actually be the third.
Um, so there's not as much, I guess, of the pre-combat jitters, as they say. And this isn't his first deployment, but it is his first deployment, sort of with this team, and with people he hasn't spent, I mean, frankly, years training with and getting to know, because his previous team was made up of, not only literally his father, but like his closest friend, who he practically grew up with. So he's used to sort of, he's used to a certain squad dynamic, and of everybody being sort of like family to each other. And that is the complete opposite of what he's been experiencing here so far. Um, so he's not exactly, shaken up by like, oh no, I'm about to go into combat. It's more, I'm about to go into combat with people who I don't really trust and who don't really trust me. Uh, Very uneasy. But he's doing his best not to let it show, as best as he can. Um, and
You want to know something interesting, Patch?
yeah,
You're actually seeing something on Clyde. You only see in very specific people. Clyde hasn't seen the elephant yet.
I see.
He looks like he
Would Patch
this looks like it's going to be a first time experience for him.
would Patch recognize that?
Yeah, you you
Okay.
you, you can very much tell. You had this experience like 3 months ago.
Right. Um, so Patch like kind of gets halfway through like zipping up his normal suit, and turns to him and he's like, "Hey, you all good?"
As good as I can be with Zeke's on board, yeah.
They they're here to achieve like accomplish the same goal as you. I don't think there's any reason. I mean, I'm obviously quite uncomfortable here, but we're not gonna achieve anything if we don't at least try trust each other. So this forgive me if this is a rude question, but you've never been in combat before, have you?
Under fire, plenty of times. Pulling the trigger of the mobile suit, yes, but hitting an actual target, not exactly. Just shooting debris. Um,
Ah, well, if it helps, I was in your position a few months ago. I'm not exactly a well experienced pilot myself. Lots of training, but that's nothing like what actually being on the field is like.
oh, I have
I don't know.
zero anxiety about being on the field. I have
Oh,
anxiety about coming back to this. I've been waiting for so long to actually be out there on that field. But this is
You know,
having a Xeon commander is something else.
I mean, former Xeon. I don't think there's Xeon anymore.
Did you not see her uniform?
I'm the only way we're gonna get anywhere is if we at least try to get along. And I know I'm in no position to say that, but I don't know. I'm gonna count on you guys out there, and I'm hoping that you guys can count on me. And
Look, you're on my team. I'm gonna be honest. I trust you infinite times more than that colonel. I'll watch your back to the best of my ability unless you do something that gives me reason
And
to
I'll do the
otherwise.
same. Trust me,
Duos
I.
pipes up.
Oh,
Oh, sorry.
oh,
Duos walks into
was.
the room.
Hi.
We're all in
And
the
if you
we're
want
all in
to,
the
it's
ready
fine.
room, aren't we?
Yeah, in the ready
Yeah.
room.
Yeah. Duos pipes up. Listen, Clyde. Look at my hat. Notice something about it? Made by Zeke. Am I a Zeke? No. I've spent the better part of my formative years fighting for the Earth Federation. Doesn't matter what uniform we wear. It doesn't matter what insignia we wear. We're all fighting for the same goal. The Federation's complacency has ushered in something much worse than Xeon could ever be. And we need to stop that. And Patch, why the hell are you wearing your normal suit? This is a terrestrial op.
Oh, sorry.
You look at Clyde also wearing a normal suit.
Why the hell are you wearing your normal suit, Clyde? And Duos is just zipping up a black jacket over his shirt.
Boss, if we go down the water, I do not want to drown. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, good point. Also, just habit, I guess.
You'll be fine, but I gotta watch out for myself.
Very well. Suit yourself.
Clyde. I said, don't unmute yet, Pancake. We're about to get to combat. Clyde, you and Duos go over to your mobile suits, get in, and get on a base jabber. You're about to leave over the sunny skies of Mombasa. You see the air traffic controller give you the green light, and you leave. Lands. Patch. You two get on your
That's me.
base jabber. Lance, you currently have the controls of it. You know, this thing moves faster than your gem. And it has a beam rifle on it. That's pretty good. But it is kind of made of paper mache.
All right, noted.
And you leave. And, you know, the first thing you see when you get out of the plane on these clear skies is flak. It seems the local garrison does not take very kindly to your presence. Lance, I'd like you to make me keen awareness. Systems.
All right, keen awareness systems. So that is a 6, 10. All right, that is 14 over 10 for 4 failures.
4 failures.
Can I try whatever roll it is, or is
Sure.
it just something that would apply to him? Okay. Keen awareness systems.
Yep.
All right. What the fuck is my systems? Because I know what my keen awareness is.
It's a
It
4.
should be a 4 if you're in a gym too.
You're all in the same bubble
Okay.
suit.
Yeah, like
Okay,
we're
so
all
it's
in
a
the same.
4.
Yeah, we all. This will be easy to track, thankfully for now.
Okay, well that's nice.
It's going to get a lot more complicated later.
Okay, well that's a 12. What do we got? Okay. All right. Threshold of 12. I got a 10. That is 3 successes.
3 successes. You see enemy Dudai Kais getting dangerously close. You know, as you start to see it closer, actually you experience a new problem. You can tell what mobile suit that is.
Do I recognize it as in like model or as in like who would
Yes.
be in that mobile
You
suit?
know who's in that mobile suit. You
Oh, shit.
see a black Gundam.
Uh-oh. uh he's like momentarily completely paralyzed, not sure what to do, and then sort of like takes a deep breath and is like, we have enemy incoming. Dodai Kai's.
4 of them.
4.
On the other ones, you see Hyzax.
It looks like Isaac's, and he doesn't want to lie, but also he doesn't want to say it.
Lands.
Something else. I can't make it out.
Yes, Mr. Goma.
Firene, the Gundam Mark II, is going to take a shot at you and your Dodai.
Lands like Jim head snaps in the direction that Patch was referring to. He sees the Gundam, he sees the beam rifle, and he just kind of chuckles.
Would you like to react in any way?
Yeah, we're gonna try to dodge this.
Because you're both on the same Dodai, base jabber, that is, would you like to react or would Patch like to react? Because
I'll leave that up to Patch, actually. Patch saw it first, so I feel like Patch would be the most likely to bank the thing.
Yeah, just like sharp dodge. Just get out of the way.
please make me a poise, maneuver, mobility. This would be with your subflight system, which I should have written down as a 6.
Okay. My mobility 6?
Yep.
Okay. There's a 14. So oh no, not 1 plus 35.
I just got 3 successes.
All right, let's see what I got. No, come on. Not 98. Why can't I not type?
The fingers.
I got 6 successes.
6 successes. You bank left as the beam screams past you. Lians, would you like to react in any way? Using reaction to shoot back or anything like that?
No, Lance doesn't want to engage in a sloppy exchange of fire right now.
Understood. This Gundam is going to go into wait to act and give it to the first Hyzack, who's going to target Duos and Clyde. Which one of you would like to use their reaction, if at all?
I don't want to use my reaction.
Pancake. Camera pans to Duos just sort of like passed out cold in the cockpit.
The Haro's like hopping up and down. Wake up! Wake up!
He's biting at the joystick.
Yes, the Haro reacts.
The Haro is in control.
What's the stats for the Haro? Sorry,
Run for
I completely
Haro.
forgot that I have your character sheet, by the way, Pancake. I'm stupid, but I have it now, so if you need me to roll something or to tell you what the numbers are. I have it.
Duos.
Yes.
The Black Gundam is has given its turn to a Hyzack after taking a shot at Lands and Patch's base jabber. It's firing at you and Clyde on your base jabber. Would you like to react in some way?
Yeah, I'm gonna blow his head smooth off.
Would you like this to be a returning fire or a meeting attack? Meeting an attack. The difference is if
Meaning an attack.
you win a meeting attack, and you're significantly over, you do full damage. But if you're too close within successes, you both do full damage. Whereas a returning attack, if you lose, it subtracts from your opponent's successes.
All right, are we at long range between the Hyzak?
Actually, you are. However, the base jabber you are on has a beam rifle with 2 settings, basically a beam MG or a sniper rifle.
Of course, I'm using the sniper.
Of course. Would you also like to use your other reaction to give yourself a +4 on this? +2, I mean. Sorry, you don't have the sniper roll.
Uh,
Remember,
no, because there's a Gundam floating around. I'm just gonna do it a straight roll.
alrighty then.
All
Please
right,
make the
roll.
shot, which would be tact. Actually, no, poise. Firearms, systems. At a
This,
-1 because of your target's nimble.
your poise is a 3, and your firearms is a 6.
And systems, which is a 4.
Oh, systems are also 4. Because we're all in the same suit, right?
So that's
All right,
1,
that's a 6.
3, 9, 13, 12. Threshold of 12. You said you rolled a 6
Mm-hmm.
on a 3d6?
Yeah.
Excellent. Just making sure. And this guy is going to take
Yeah, I
a
got
shot.
a 3, a 1, and a 2.
That is 4 failures on my end. So 6 success. $11. So, what you see, a patch, is this dudai, sort of bank, and then Duos takes the shot with the beam rifle on the base jabber, and the dudai explodes, and you see this Hyzak floating down back to the ground without its shield. I'm gonna pass the turn to Lance. What would you like to do?
Real quick, I'd like to say something real quick.
Sure, go ahead.
Duos is gonna go over comms. Man, they really should stick to terrorizing civilians. They do horribly in actual combat.
You know, you hear over the radio of Commander Hunt, it doesn't help that they're in jumped up fucking Zaku's.
That makes it easier for us.
Lance, how would you like to act?
And Lance kind of stares at the current situation and he goes, I think Hunt always said she wanted a Gundam. And he's going to eye the Gundam, and then over comms, he's going to give an order. I think we found the perfect trophy for the rec room for our inaugural operation, gentlemen. I want that Gundam head. Let's go take it. And I'm going to make a team action maneuver check. I would like to also cash in a narrative point for the +2.
Very well then. Because of the new way team action maneuver works, this will be an opposed roll from Fyran. Please make me a charm leadership.
Charm and leadership. All right. Ooh, that's going to be really good, actually, in this case. Because with the leadership of 5, charm of 2, but there is a big but here, +2 from the narrative point, and then an additional +3 from Idiot Savant.
Would you like to explain to the crowd?
Idiot Savant, Idiot Savant basically reflects Lance's unique education, as in he never graduated high school but has been raised in a cockpit essentially by Federation aces. Reflects that he has some skills that he's just good at and then deficiencies in others. In this case, he gets a +3 to skills he's a savant in, which include athletics and leadership. So with that additional +3, it brings my threshold to a total of 12. And with my result of 5 on the check, gives me 8 successes.
And subtracting Thyrene's 4 successes,
That means 4 successes total.
which means 2 additional units may go and be pulled at
Yeah.
this very moment. Lance, who
All
would
right.
you like to give that to?
He's giving it to the heavy hitter. He's giving it. I'm going to pass it to Duos, and I'm going to pass it then after that to First Combat Boy Clyde, since they're on the same machine.
Lance, since you were first pulled for this, I'd like you to take your action first.
Okay. Yep. Sounds good. In terms of Lance's. Okay. Wait. Sorry. You did say lands, right? And that was purposeful.
Yes, Lance.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure that you didn't misspeak because I didn't want to accidentally take someone's turn. I think once he says that, Lance is also going to basically immediately focus fire on the Gundam, and I'm going to just no fluff, fire the beam rifle at it. This isn't really Lance's strong suit. He prefers to close with the enemy, but that's not really an option in this current situation unless he does something that would make Hunt yell at him, and he doesn't want to do that yet. So he just
Alrighty.
quickly lines up the sights of the beam rifle and snaps off a shot.
Very well then. The Gundam will use its action to try to shrug off this attack.
It won't need to. It won't need to. So with my keen and firearms of 3 and 3, and then my systems of 4, that would have been a total of 10. My roll was a 13 over 10 for 3 failures, as Lance just kind of fires a few scattered shots near the Gundam, not really hitting it.
You hit it once, it bounces off the shield. That's very good for me, Lance, because I only got 1 success on that. On a 16.
Yeah. So now I'll pass it to Duos, as Lance has given the order to basically gank that bitch.
Duos is going to whisper over the comms, mostly to himself, but man, he really is a child to hunt. And he's going to get his shield sort of where it's not parallel, but perpendicular, like not straight ahead of him, but at an angle. And he's going to rest his beam rifle against the shield. And I'm going to try and blow one of the Gundam's arms off. I will use my reaction for a +2 for this one.
Very well, then make this attack at a +1 because of your opponent's nimble.
All right. And that is a 7.
I am going to spend a narrative point for a reroll because I rolled a 16 again. I'm going to use my other set of dice. That is significantly better. That is 12 successes on my end. Duos?
Yes.
What did you roll?
I rolled a 7.
Oh, that's right. 7.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
What do you need me to tell you they are?
So that's 10
What was it?
successes on your end versus Firene's 12. You hit it, and this Gundam is keeping its shield right nice in front of it. And because you didn't take a shot at the Dudai Kai itself, it sort of just flies past. Clyde, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna kind of aim center mass for the Gundam. Do we get a bonus for the leadership thing? Or am I thinking of something else?
When you make leadership rolls, you may either give a bonus or allow other players to break initiative. Lance elected to break initiative and have 3
Okay.
units go at once.
So I guess I'm going to use my reaction to aim, and then I'm going to shoot center mass on the Gundam.
Very well, then. Are you sure you would like to do that? Because you would need to beat 12 successes. can suppress that. You can shoot the 2 other Hyzaks. You can shoot the Hyzak falling down to the ground.
I'll also use a narrative point, so +4 to it. Screw it. He said take the Gundam, we're taking the Gundam. So
Very well
what
done.
do I roll?
That would be tact firearms systems.
Tact firearm systems. 3.
With a +2 because of your target's nimble.
Okay, so +2 because of nimble.
Mm-hmm.
So is that a +2 to my roll or
So
a -2 to the
you take your flat, you're aiming and you use a narrative point, so that's +4. Your target is on a subflight system that does not have a shield, and it has a mobility 6, so that means it's nimble 2. And you may, when you have a subflight system, you may substitute its mobility and nimble for your own, and Fyrene is doing that. So that takes your +4 down to a +2.
Okay. So Tech 3, Firearms 5, and then System 4 +2. So threshold of 14. 12, 14. So result of 14. So 1 success.
1 success. You fire off the beam rifle. It hits the Gundam in the shield. Who would you like to pass to, Clyde? It must be an enemy.
Probably one of the Hyzaks that hasn't gone.
Would you like to pass to the Hyzak with a beam rifle or a mobile suit machine gun?
Beam rifle.
Very well done.
Oh man, I have a question. How much damage did Duos' shot do to the Gundam?
None. The shrug off. You were soundly defeated during the shrug off. This was 12 of successes versus your 10. Although, had I not re-rolled that, you would have annihilated the arm behind the shield. I rolled unusually well. It was a 5
He
on
will
that
be
one.
back. Duos needs to kill Titans.
It's going to take this Hyzak's going to take a shot at you and Patch lands. Would you like to use your reaction?
Did I do anything with my one?
Your reaction?
Yes, I will do so.
Success?
You used it to aim. Mark.
No, did I do anything with my 1 success?
No.
Okay.
I told you you were there to beat 12 successes, and you went for it. Lands.
Orders are orders.
That is true. This lands. This Hyzak's taking a shot at you. What would you like to do?
We'll try to bank it again.
Please make a move check, which would be poise, mobility, maneuver. Since you're on a subflight system, you have mobility 6 instead of 4.
That is 8 successes for banking the shot.
That is 1 success on my end. You successfully do so. And this other Hyzak tries the same with the machine gun and is just as unsuccessful. Patch, what would you like to do?
Am I being shot at?
Not currently. There's the Gundam and the second and third Hyzak on Dudai Kai's. The first Hyzak is falling to the ground and is very defenseless, but does have a reaction. The third Hyzak is which is on a Dudai Kai, has no reactions.
All right. Well, I know that everybody is trying to go for the Gundam. However, I have mixed feelings about that happening. Would it my in character, I guess, justification for doing this would be like if I can shoot down the Dodai Kai, maybe, you know, get them out of the fight somehow. So could I target that specifically, I guess?
The Dodai Kai?
That the Gundam is on.
Sure, I would give you a positive modifier for that, actually, of a 2.
Okay. So that is what I am.
Please
going to
make
do.
me a tact firearms systems at a +2.
Okay, that's 2. And my systems is 4. And that's +2.
That's an 11. That's not impossible.
Okay.
7 successes on my end.
Well, that's unfortunate for me because I have 2 successes.
You take a shot at it, and then it starts getting closer. Like, really close. And then you see the Gundam jump up at you.
Oh shit. Is it
Can you use
attacking
my
me?
reaction to suppressive fire or potentially hit him while he's jumping?
You are out of reactions.
No, I only used one of my reactions.
You used one to aim, remember?
Yeah, that's the only one I used.
Sure, I'll give it to you. Why not?
All right.
Please make a suppressive fire roll, so that would just be at a +1. For you, that means you need to beat a 16.
Hmm. 4. Snake eyes.
I believe that's
Why do you
another awakening point for you.
keep getting awakening points and you can't use them because you're an old type?
No, that's Duos. Duos is not an old type.
Oh, that's duos. Sorry. I'm bad at recognizing voices. My bad.
So, a patch.
Yes.
You hear a familiar voice say, "I'll kill you," as it jumps up with a beam saber in its hand and is about to like bisect the dude, the base jabber you're on. And then, at the last moment, it suddenly banks off as a beam occupies the spot it was just in, and it lands back on the subflight system.
You all right, Titans boy?
Yeah, I'm fine.
That Gundam pilot is one hell of a... The guy in the Gundam is one hell of a pilot. Who the hell is he?
Patch, I'd like you to make me poise composure, -3.
Okay. I knew you would do this because I gave myself nothing in composure. Okay,
Well,
what's my poise?
actually, would you like to say you fail this instantly, but I'll make it a fail to improve?
Sure, because I was gonna say my threshold is a 1.
What's
if
your
I apply the
composure?
-3. So there's yeah, my composure is 0. And I
may
already have it
increase-
marked.
You may increase it by 1.
Okay, cool.
Say her name.
As in like a
Like, give it away that you know this person.
yeah, she's really good. Feyreen. I she was on my team. I didn't know she would be here.
She's really good.
What's
You
her
said.
name again?
Feyreen.
Irene.
I've been saying
pronouncing that right?
Firene.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, but this
Feyreen.
thing is, the director of the dub is giving us all different directions, so we're just sort of making it
Of
up
course.
along the way. Like, no one knows how to say Alderon.
Did you say her name is
Yeah.
Fireen?
Firene.
Fireen?
You know, she's in the Gandam.
The Kingdom.
Fireen in the
We're jumping
the
on the
game,
white
though.
base?
We're just okay. So it's firing. That's what
Yeah.
we're going with.
Yeah, I think it's easier
Okay.
to say.
Yeah. Yeah, she used to be on my team. I didn't know she would be here.
Lovely. Drama, our first deployment together. Well, I hope you don't mind if I split her in here.
I she's a good person. If I could just talk to her, I don't think.
Start talking before I start shooting. I won't miss her this time.
Patch, I am handing the turn to you.
To me?
Yes. I have to give
Oh.
it to the players now.
Oh, right, yeah. All right. So, I was not expecting this to happen so fast, but all right.
I know. That's why I did it like this. You wouldn't think
Yeah, I
I'd
was.
play this card immediately, but I would.
Yeah, I thought we were gonna draw out the thinking Patch was dead thing for longer, but okay. You know what? Let's fucking go. So can I guess attempt to make contact comms or not contact like lasing line?
Sure, you can try to radio.
Okay.
I
Well then
considered a special action. Let's see. Keen. Technology systems. Or
Okay.
expression.
Which one of those is higher for me? I don't remember. Let's see. What's my technology? Or expression, right?
Yes.
they're both 3. So, and then systems?
Yes. Although, which one you choose can determine which one can be improved if you fail this, and how this is flavored. So.
I see. I will do I'll do I guess expression then.
Alrighty.
Okay. So, oh no. That's an 11 to hit. My computer just decided it wanted to turn off, so that's normal for it. That is 1 success.
1 success. You get a line.
Furion, can you hear me?
You know you have a line, but you're not hearing anything. So you just keep talking.
Furion, come in. I know you're in the Gundam. I know that's you. This is Patch. Please talk to me. We can figure this out, okay? Just, I need you to talk to me. Answer, please. Come on, I know you can hear me. Come
Patch.
in. Yes.
You hear an absolutely apoplectic. We had to bury you.
I know, I'm sorry. Look, I can explain, I promise, okay? I just... They're making us fight civilians, okay? We can't do that. I can't do that. I didn't know what else to do. And I would have tried to bring you with me, but it was just everything happened so fast. And I know, I, I know you don't want to hurt innocent people. I know that's not what you joined for. Can we please just figure this out in some way that doesn't involve killing each other? I've got my team to listen to me, but I don't know how long they're going to wait. Just please. I don't want to fight you.
And I don't want to fight you, Patch. But we can't allow these people to just dictate whatever they want to the Federation.
That's not what they're doing. And we can't just allow the Titans to just keep doing whatever they want and stomping over anyone who stands in their way.
And the last time people thought that we could talk this out, Zeons dropped the second colony on Earth. They're not reasonable people, Patch. Things might be different in a decade, but not now. Patch,
Why can't we at least try?
Patch, would you like to take your action in any way?
Can I try again to shoot down the flight unit that she's on?
You may try. Yes.
Okay.
She's
What'd you say?
she's gonna try to shoot back, actually. Please make me Are you using your own beam rifle or the subflight systems?
Oh, what's the difference?
The subflight system is either a beam machine gun or a beam sniper rifle.
I guess I'll just use my own beam rifle.
Understood. Please make this at a -2. And that would be a shot tact.
Okay. So that's systems, firearms, tact?
Yes.
Or no?
Yep.
There's an auto
if you
calculator.
See, if you look at the cheat
Yeah.
sheet on the note next to it, it says what is in there.
I see, and that's at a -2?
Yes.
Cool. That's a 7. I'm doing great. Oh, I am doing great. Okay. Well, that's an awakening point.
Whoa. You're very
I
first
got
to
a
the campaign.
6.
How many successes is that?
Okay, well, I was threshold 7, result 6. That's 2 successes.
2 successes?
Put
you
in
know,
there.
you put a beam right
One.
between our legs, and the Dudaika, she's engulfed in an explosion, and you see the Gundam fall down to the earth. Who would you like to turn
That was
past this
dirty,
to?
Patch.
What was that,
Did you say?
Lance?
I didn't hear.
Well, it
I
just
didn't
goes,
hear
"Ugh,
either.
That was dirty.
I just wanted to
just-
get them to stop.
You distracted her by talking and then shot her? Ugh.
That's not what I was trying to do. I wasn't
Okay.
shooting at her. Is there anything else I'm supposed to do? Or was that my action?
For now, because I tend to be pretty strict on
Oh,
how many things someone can do. Usually it's
you
say
asked
what
me.
you want to do,
Gotcha.
and then you make the rolls.
You asked me to hand it off to somebody. That was what you said, right?
Yes.
Okay. I just know
I-
that you said something, but you
either
said it at the
friend
same
or
time as
foe.
Perry.
Either friend or foe, whoever you really like. Currently, Fyrene is falling to the ground. The first Hyzak has landed.
On the ground.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to pass it to I suppose I'll just pass it to I'll pass it to Firing, sure. Or was it just her turn?
It was not. However, I will
Okay.
say this: Fyrene is scary.
Yes. Okay, yeah, good point. Gundam.
And has 2 actions.
Oh.
So you might not want to do
maybe
that
I
at this
don't
very
wanna do
moment
that.
when she's really angry at you specifically.
Good point. That being said, I think I'll pass it to fuck. What's your guy's name again? I'll pass it to Clyde.
Oh, I just realized something which is extremely silly of me.
Uh-oh.
I didn't share the combat sheet because I'm so used to using the exact same one for every single campaign. I've been playing. There it is in the channel. You could all see what's
Thank
going
you.
on. It's like
Now I have it.
it's like
I just
why
thought maybe the system.
I was thinking
I was just
earlier, like, they should know how many actions they have. I have clearly marked check boxes for all of this stuff. And like,
because I've been using ASRD, so I just thought maybe UMP just didn't have the same thing.
thing is, they got it from me.
Ah, so I was the stupid.
No, actually, I was. I should have given this to you like 40 minutes ago. I was like,
Cool.
wow, no one's even like commenting on the fact that I forgot to like separate Firebeam's 2 reactions. Yeah, so Patch, who would you like to give it to? Everyone's clearly marked out.
Okay.
Like even on the right-hand side, there's the episode, the name of the episode, the date,
Oh, look at that.
and
It's
your
all
current narrative points is all here. And like if
all
you have
here.
2 actions, you can just unmerge your cell or remerge it as required.
I will pass it to duos then.
Duos, what do? Yes, Duos, for the sake of the recording, Duos is Pancake is doing something, cannot speak at the moment. Yes, the Gundam is
Oh
currently
shit,
falling to
sorry.
the ground.
Come on, do you want me to act as a voice text translator for Duos?
Please. That would make my life much easier.
I will voice text translate for Duos when I see voice text. I will not do a Duos voice.
Pancake
Duo
as
says-
played
Duo
by
says that they are going to take a shot at the MS legs.
that would be a called shot. Would you like to apply 1 or 2 frame damage? The difference is that your first success, your base damage would basically be forfeit, and you apply frame damage over a normal attack. Then any subsequent successes past your minimum would do normal pierce damage. If you elect to do 1 frame damage, you just need to get 4 successes before subtracting from an opposed roll. For a attack on the head, which is 2 frame damage, you need 5 successes. Your base attack for a shoot is 15. And since this is a called shot, you're going to be doing this roll at a 13 no matter what. Would you like to attempt to apply 1 or 2 frame damage? Oh, you'll attempt to apply 2 frame damage. Understood. And Connie also said, well, thank you, Connie. You got me thinking of Connie, where this is Duos. Duos says, well, we tried talking, now we do it my way. You rolled a 7. With that, she's going to attempt to react. That's really bad on my end. You successfully do it. And you know, oh great. Let's take a small break then. Let's wait a second.
Oh no, I'm all right.
Oh, I
I'm
didn't
just
see
waiting for
art.
it
I
to
didn't
turn
see
back
art
on.
computer. It's like, oh, computer blue screen. Oh, great.
You know, it's just my art computer. So there was gonna be session doodles. There might not be now.
Anyways, you blow the crap out of the leg. And you take a second shot and you hit the shield. You destroy it. Perry, would you like to say Duos's line?
Duos would say, "You're lucky I have a soft spot patch. Could have went for the cockpit."
Patch does not respond. He's a little shaken up at the moment.
Duos, who would you like to pass to? There's Fyrene and the 3 Hyzax. It has to be an enemy. The Gundam falls to the earth, and then it raises its beam rifle and tries to take a shot at you, Duos. And you can feel a presence trying to locate you. It's almost like you could feel someone trying to guide their shot on top of you.
Duos calls out, "Feel like giving up yet, Titan?"
Fyrene is going to take a shot at you. Would you like to react in any way to us? Dodge. Alrighty, please roll me a move check, which would be a 12. Oh, right, that's right. Not a 12. Your subflight system. Which is a 9. You beat her 1 success with your 4 successes, and you successfully dodge this attack. She's going to give this over to the 3rd Hyzac. I'm going to allow you to use a residual defense. Oops. No, Pancake's not back. So, would you like to roll again? Or would you like to use your prior success? I have not rolled this yet. You would currently have 6 successes on your residual. Alrighty then. Nothing. This Hyzax fires its beam up into the air and barely misses as it's shot as you move out of the way. It's gonna pass to you, Lance, so we can get some dialogue in here.
It's been passed to me.
Yes.
Lance just kind of clicks his tongue and goes, My, everyone's already going their own way. All right, we're going to have to work out and iron this out. Well, Patch, and he puts his Jim's hand on Patch's Jim's shoulder. Well, get ready for a reunion. We're going down. But before we do that, so here's how this is going to go, order of operations. Lance is going to give out an order to Clyde, and then he is going to take the base jabber down low and hop off and go to engage the Gundam with his beam saber. Basically doing a flyby dive, so to speak, if you're familiar with what I'm getting at, Goma.
I think I am.
Basically, base jabber skims just above the ground, and Lance is literally jumping down, swinging his beam saber from the flank, essentially.
Alrighty.
But Lance is going to, over comms, go, Harper, you're the only one still in cohesion. Start picking off those Hyzax. We can't afford to let them get the advantage on us in this. I'm going to go distract the Gundam for a little bit. Try to get Duos back with the program if you can. But for now, focus fire on that Hyzac, and that is the actual order.
Yes, sir.
And that is going to be 2 successes on the order.
Clyde, please put in your check modifier a 1, which means you have a +1 to whatever you roll next. Assuming
Hey,
you...
better than nothing.
Yeah, it does help.
Oh, sorry, no, 2 successes. Yeah, no, wait, fuck. Yes, 2
Yeah,
successes, 1 bonus. My brain got a little scrambled there, but I'm okay.
You got Scrimbly Gold? Googly Gopt?
Is the check mod in the little meta box?
Yes. That's just to help you keep track.
So that's 2, right?
That's a +1 to your next roll.
This one. Okay.
Better than nothing.
It helps.
It really does.
And then, do you want me to roll anything else for the base jabber actually going low,
No,
or am I going straight to the melee?
actually, make me a move check.
All right, move subplate.
Yes,
Right,
please.
that is 10 successes on Lance's
Please.
little dive bomb.
Make your melee attack at a +6.
All right, and I'm going to spend a narrative point to give myself an additional. Oh, well, no, I'm already at the cap, aren't I?
Actually, I consider narrative points to be separate, the same way I consider new type skills to be
Okay.
separate.
So then I will spend a narrative point to give myself a net positive of +8 as Lands, basically over close comms, shouts at the Gundam pilot, "Hey, Firene! Good news for you. I'm the one who took down Patch." And he's going to swing his beam saber. And
You see the other Hyzacs next to it, and they both pull out beam sabers. I did roll both of them for melee relatively soon, and as you know, we are all talking, and you
Yep.
need to beat a collective 4 successes on these 2
15
guys.
successes.
15?
Yes.
Holy shit.
I tried to whistle there, but
That's-
it didn't pick up. How do you
You got
dispatch
some numbers.
Firene?
Jesus
Lance,
Christ.
after dive bombing and announcing his little battle cry, the second Firene makes her turn, because I'm sure after she hears that taunt, she's turning to face him. It is in one smooth motion. Lance cuts both arms off and kicks the Gundam to the ground. Beam saber aimed at the cockpit.
One moment, actually. As you do so, the cockpit eject happens, and the little ball in the chest flies away.
Yeah, that's fine. Lance just kind of gives it a little 2-finger wave and then turns towards the Hyzax. Shield up, beam saber up.
As
Who's
you do
next?
that, it comes to like try to take a pot shot at you, but because you fought them collectively. But you block, like, as your feet dig back into the ground, asphalt breaking.
Yeah, and Lance just goes, "Who's next?"
Lance, actually, would you like to spend your reaction to attack this guy?
Yes, absolutely. Basically, Lance turns it aside, and he's going to quickly go for a beam saber thrust at the Hyzack's head.
I would like you to make me a melee grit reactor at a -2.
May I advocate for wrath as I am in violence mode?
Yes, you may.
All right. Then, yeah, Lance just quickly counter thrusts.
Yep, so
And that is a 14, about 12 under 14 for 3 successes on the counter thrust.
3 successes?
Yes.
And this was a called shot, you said.
Yes.
Alright, since you did not get the necessary 5 successes, that's glancing.
That's fine.
So 3 successes on 5, 7, applies 3 damage on this first Hyzack. You stab near the top of the left shoulder. As you dig into it, and this thing backs off as it bats the beam saber away.
Oh, you're braver than your commanding officer. Leave this one alone. It's mine.
The camera stops on the two of you as you see this Hyzack grasp its beam saber in both hands. And, it keys its guard. And, it looks like it's about to charge you. And then, who would you like to pass to, Lance?
Lance is going to pass to good old Harper.
Clyde, you're up. What do?
There's still a Hyzack in the air, a Hyzack pair in the air, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna take fire at one of those. I guess. Which one of these Hyzacs? First, second, third?
Second and third are in the air. The third Hyzac has used its reaction.
I guess I'll fire at the third one.
Very well then. Please make me a tact systems firearms -2. Would you like to spend an errata point?
Sure. Alright, tech systems. Alright. Threshold 12, right? Alright, let's see what I roll. That's not good. 14. So 2 failures.
2 failures. You don't hit it. Would you like to spend an errata point to re-roll potentially?
Sure.
How many do we have?
You're currently 4 out of 8.
Okay.
8. Alright, 11. So 2 successes.
2 successes. On the third Hyzac, you see it's you get a clear shot on the Dudai Kai. You fire, and it's blown away, and this Hyzac starts to fall back to the earth.
Nice.
And let's see, Patch, you're still up in the air, and then behind you, I'm going to spend a narrative point.
Oh.
You got a Hyzac on your tail, and it's going to take a shot at you.
Can I? I'm still on the.
You're still on the.
I'm still on the
base jabber, yeah.
on the flight thing, right? Okay. So I'm just gonna try to avoid the shot. Just like
Dodge. Move
bank
check,
to one
please.
side and okay. And that's with the 6 or
Yes.
the. Okay.
I believe I should put in everyone. I did put in everyone's subflight section filled out for the base jabber.
Okay.
It doesn't seem to be filled out on my end.
I'll do that.
I have move in parentheses subflight 14. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's what I had calculated.
It should be 2
before.
ahead of your normal move.
Well, then that is correct. So I will roll that.
Okay. That was a, where are you? It's a 9 threshold. Oh, sorry. Spreadsheet decided it hated being working. Okay, 6 successes.
Nothing on this guy. It fires, it misses, and you dodge out of the way. Let's see. And this first Hyzac is going to try to make an attack at you, Lands. And I'm going to try to beat your 12, because, I'm a nice guy like that.
Understood.
With a +2. So it's a 13 on my end.
Jeez.
These Hyzacs are real dog water. That's 1 failure.
Just kind of...
if nothing else, he is brave.
Yeah, Lance just kind of clashes Beam Saber, and then over the contact comms goes, "Here, I'll make it a little more fair for you," and he throws aside his shield.
Just for that, I'm going to give you an extra narrative point. You are now nimble 1, Lance. Congratulations.
Oh my god.
And that's turn. I'm gonna pass this to you, Lance, because that feels appropriate right about now.
With the shield out of the way, Lands is just going to basically feint a punch towards the Hyzak and then immediately just go for a slice across.
Lance, Duos over radio says, "Let's not be reckless, Lan. I don't need IC to die on the first op."
The first stop is as good an op as any.
What could you say it
And
again?
then
I was reading.
No worries. Lane said the first stop is as good an op as any. And
No, like
then,
what was your action was?
Oh, he's just going to slice with. He's basically feinting with a punch and then going for a slice with the beam saber.
Okay, I would like you to roll me keen sleight.
Sure. Yeah, that fails. I think the Hyzak's going to realize the beam saber is the bigger threat here.
How much did you fail by?
A lot. Let me do the math. That was 8 failures.
8 failures. Please make your melee wrath at a -3.
Understood.
I rolled 12 under 13. That's 2 successes on my end, and he is countercharging you.
I have 3 successes.
Would you like to spend a narrative point?
Yeah, sure. I earned it back anyways. I might as well spend it.
Because this guy countercharged you and you're above successes, you do full damage. So you dispatch this Hyzak. Describe to me how you do so.
I regret to inform the Hyzak pilot that he too is losing his wrist privileges, and Lands will just sever. But this time it's only the one. Lands just does a straight diagonal slash down from one elbow down across the legs and just bisects it at the legs, letting it topple. And he'll put his MS's hand on the cockpit and go, "Do not eject. I will be taking you prisoner now because I like you. If you eject, I cannot guarantee your safety. Am I clear?"
Fine.
And Lance sounds so happy when he says, "Excellent."
Please
Now
add.
we're going to spend
I also forgot Lands. Disabling that Gundam counts as a victory on top of this Hyzak, so it's
Excellent.
two victories in total you've earned today.
3 victories in total for the session.
Yes, but today.
Yes, today. Lance
The
just
narrative
goes,
in day.
"Excellent. We're going to have a lot of fun training together. I like your style, but it needs refinement. You'll make a great Karaba pilot if you can pull through the retraining."
You can just feel this silence, this fuming silence.
If it helps.
You know, Lands, you're specifically doing what I think you're doing, and you're wounding this man's pride quite a lot.
If it helps, I'm also from space.
Yeah, you're not helping. You hear this guy mutter, "Fucking Zeeks."
Nope. Close, though.
Lands, who would you like to pass to?
Lands is going to pass it to... I think at this point, again, Harper makes the most sense for him to pass to, since he had previously, in the last round, given Harper an order, and Harper's actively pursuing that order. So narratively, it makes sense for me to just pass the focus back over to Harper.
Very well then, Harper, you've been pulled. What would you like to do?
I guess I'm gonna fire again at the one that I took out his base jabber.
That'll be the third Hyzak. Please fire at a +2, because you know this Hyzak cannot maneuver quite as well in a free fall. He will attempt to dodge.
All right, so that's tanked, firearms, and systems.
That is 4 successes on my end.
All right, let's roll. Let's see what we get. Wait, how much plus 2?
Yes.
All right, so that's be 14. All right. Four successes. I got an 11.
4 successes versus my 4 successes. Please roll a tiebreaker, which is a single dice. We both roll 1, and whoever rolls lower wins with 1 success in the end.
All right, green die, don't fail me.
Ah, I rolled a 3.
I also rolled a 3.
We roll again. That's another 3.
Oh my god.
2.
You win, and you smack this Hyzak in the shield, and because the shield is only 1 HP, it drops it. Who would you like to pass to, Clyde? You could only pass to enemies.
I guess the one I just shot at.
Very well then. It's going to make a move check to run away. On account of the fact that you are all winning this fight quite handedly. Very well then. It makes a jump, it makes a movement towards the ground, and it lands, and you see it jump up again away from you and away from the city. It's going to pass to the second Hyzak, who's going to do the exact same thing.
Is that the one that's attacking me?
Well, that was.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, now he's not.
Yeah, he is currently running away.
I am gonna let him do that. No objections here.
And, they moved a medium distance. I'm going to give it to Duos. As you see this, the only target you can really get an eye on, Pancake, is the one in the Dudai Kai.
Perfect timing because I just got back into my office. I'm going to shoot down his subflight system.
Just the subflight system?
I'm gonna try and do a collateral, shoot through both.
Oh, shoot through both. This would be a called shot. Would you like to use a reaction to give yourself aimed? The enemies cannot do anything. Would you like to use both of your reactions to make this attack aimed?
Yes.
Please make this at a +5. I need to see 5 successes for you to successfully pull this off.
All right, so my shoot should be about what, 15, 16?
Yes, that's
around
it.
there?
Oh,
Yeah, 15
shit, right, I'm
naturally.
supposed to check.
So you need a 20.
Yes, your shot is 15. Sorry. I have
All right,
one
I got an
job.
11.
Got an 11. It's 10 successes versus this thing's 4 successes. I'm gonna. Wait, no, it doesn't have any reactions. You blow the crap out of this Isaac, out of victory.
Baby.
That makes it 19. You're almost at quadruple ace.
I was about to ask, does shooting down the subflight system count as a victory for me?
Give yourself a fighter kill.
Okay.
So wait, no, that'd be 2 victories because I shot down a subflight system and a mobile suit.
Actually, that is a very good point. How would they account for that? Because
There's a fighter kill and a mobile suit kill.
I mean, I think it depends on if somebody's in it, I guess.
Yeah.
but how could you tell?
Like, I mean,
I don't-
it's mostly a. the way ace kills are tracked is equipment loss because they don't really care about the pilots that much. Like you don't like aces don't count shooting, parachuting aviators.
I don't
They
think
count
we,
planes shot down, not pilots killed.
Patch,
Yes, that's me.
you're up.
What enemies are still there?
It's the
Oh,
third
there's still the guy
Hyzak.
attacking me, right?
It's the third Hyzak
Okay.
who's currently running the hell away.
I am gonna let him run the hell.
Lands. Duos. You notice Patch is not taking the shot on this last guy. Any words? You, Clyde, as well also notice this. Would anyone like to say anything?
Patch, run him down and make him surrender, or I'll let Duo shoot him.
He's leaving. Can't we just let them
Nope.
retreat?
We have to. Any enemy who escapes today is an enemy we have to fight tomorrow. And while I am thrilled by that thought, Lieutenant Commander Hunt's orders were clear. So bring him in, alive if you wish. Come on, show me the skill I brought you on for.
Yes, sir.
Patch.
Yes.
You know, as you turn, let's see. To this Hyzak running away, you see a Rictias. Sorry, I've been playing too much 1 Year War. I need to get out of this. I need to get out of this year.
1 Year War brain poison. 1 Year War brain poison.
You see a Rictias fall from the sky with a beam saber on top of this Hyzak. At the moment it's about to contact the ground, it grabs its arm on the shoulder and just jams it right through the cockpit. And you know,
That was on you, Patch.
there's dust kicked around. And then Commander Hunt asks, "Everything good over there?"
Yes,
Just
ma'am.
peachy, Commander.
Leia just calms Patch on a private link and says, kind of a little more sharply, but still with that odd smile, and he says, "That one's on you, Patch. You had the opportunity to bring him in alive, and look what happens when you hesitate. Don't hesitate. If you want them alive, act to keep them alive. Otherwise, there are plenty of people around you who are more than willing to shed their blood."
Yes, you're right.
Patch,
That was
Of course I
on me.
was.
because of the traumatic
I'm
thing you
sorry.
just noticed, as opposed to taking 1 mind damage during this combat fatigue, please take 2.
Yippee! I was just waiting for that one.
Yep, so during this this is the combat fatigue stage. It is very simple. I will ask you either fatigue mind, fatigue body. And these represent either your mental or physical well-being after the very strenuous activity of combat. Everyone, except for Patch, roll fatigue body. If you fail this roll, you roll D3 mind damage on top of your obligatory 1 mind damage for just being in combat.
Mr. Goldmine,
Yes?
I did not kill anyone.
Oh, please regain D2 mind health before you do this, Lance. Actually, no, after. That'd be more generous to you.
I do not roll for fatigue.
That is a good point, actually. Would you like more mind health
Do I
back?
just roll?
Yeah, sure. I'm at plus mind. I'm even more psyched now. Like, I have buffers on my mental state. It's great being like this.
Patch.
Who
don't
needs
mind.
therapy
Do
when
I
you
just
can
roll
be
mind?
fucking deranged?
Huh?
Do I just roll mind or do I roll both? It's been a bit.
You can roll both. Patch. A very important thing about fatigue mind.
Yes.
When you get a successful roll on it, that is what inflicts damage. This is to represent.
Wait, am I?
Yeah, you're rolling fatigue mind.
Oh, okay.
And this is to represent.
On top of
you don't
whatever
roll
I already took.
Yeah, so you just for being in combat, you take mind damage. It's almost always just 1. This is a special circumstance of the traumatic thing you just saw happening at the moment of the fatigue.
1d6 or 2d6?
It's a 2d6 roll. Since this
Okay.
is body, this is keen empathy. Because this is to represent if you feel something from killing people, when you make a successful roll on this, the mind version of the fatigue, you take D3 damage. And if you were to fail, that's passing the fatigue. Well, the reverse is true for the
Let's
body.
I was trying to my fatigue mind is an 8 and I got a 7.
You pass, which means you take D3 mind damage.
Lovely. On top of the 2 I already took. I don't have a D3.
Well, you can just use a D6 and just divide
Yeah.
accordingly.
I got a 3.
So I succeeded my body. I failed my mind. I don't even need to roll for that. It's literally an 11. So I'm gonna take the D3
Wait, what? Why would you not roll?
because I have an 11 in
You can
fatigue
always
empathy.
you can always roll 12. You can
Let the
always
man
six.
fail his mental health if he wants to fail his mental health. Who are
I
you
rolled a
to make
6.
him try to be sane?
because it's always possible to fail and succeed.
All right. And I'm taking 2 mind damage.
Huh? No.
So
You rolled that on the D3? Yes.
Yes.
Excellent. Just making sure.
so I was to clarify, I was taking 2 to begin with,
Uh-huh.
and then I am taking another D3 of mind damage
Yes.
because my D3 got a 3.
Yep.
Um
You could always spend a narrative
so
point to re-roll the fatigue.
I have 7 mind in total.
Bad first day
And that
out.
would bring me down to 2.
You
Would you
guys
say?
are gonna go partying after this, as per Land's instructions. So.
Mhm.
And that's how you regain mind health, right?
Yep. Just doing fun things.
All right, I'll take it. Why not?
Have
Well,
It
hoppers
seems
with the whole game.
accurate.
How is Clyde doing?
I passed. I succeeded. I had 2 successes for my mind check. So is that roll for damage or is that not roll for damage?
I asked you to do body, actually.
Oh, just body.
Yep.
Okay, then I had 2 successes for body.
Nothing happens. So, Clyde, how are you feeling back in combat? You got to actually do something.
I got to do something, but I didn't get a kill. I got a base jabber. That's about it.
That counts as a kill. That's a fighter kill.
Clyde doesn't really count that in his mind, but he'll mark it down somewhere.
You sound like the grumpy pilots talking about how drones don't count.
Yeah. I think especially because the base jabbers that the Federation uses don't have a room for a pilot. I don't think.
The Dudai Kais don't. The ones
I'm
you're
pretty sure,
using.
I'm pretty sure AEUG uses the Dodai Kai and the Federation uses the base jabber, but we might also have base jabbers because the Alduma was stolen.
We're all the Federation, anyways.
It's complicated, as civil wars often are.
I want to establish, by the way, Gomine, that Lands has tagged the Gundam for recovery because it is basically intact.
Actually, that's a good point. Patch, you didn't actually see what
Yeah.
happened, and when you
Oh,
get
I
back,
didn't?
and not with Firene. So when you get back and you notice the Gundam, just sort of sitting there without a leg, you get kind of worried.
Yeah, he just like completely goes pale. Is Lance there?
Yeah, Lands is staring at it like a Victorian big game hunter back from safari, just kind of looking, beaming as he stares at it. And he'd wave Patch over and go, "Ah, Patch, don't worry, your friend got away. She did the smart but somewhat cowardly thing of ejecting rather than surrendering. So the good news is we have a Gundam basically completely intact. And the even better news is I didn't have to kill your friend for it."
Yeah, I guess that's the best outcome.
Well, the best outcome would have been that we eliminated all the enemy and took them prisoner, but unfortunately there was a little issue on that. But hey, that's how it goes. You have a rough day. He pats him on
That
the
won't
back.
happen again.
I know it won't. People very rarely disobey my orders twice. And then
That
he looks
sounds
over.
so
"Besides,
fucking ominous.
I know, right?
It was
I
meant to
love
be."
this guy. This guy's great.
And
Patch doesn't
Lance,
love this guy, but I do.
and Lance looks over and goes, and Harper has finally, speaking of big game, Harper has seen the elephant and he got himself a, oh, what are these things called? I can never remember.
Isaac.
Flight system?
Lieutenant.
Oh, here comes Duos. Hey, Duos, what is it?
Oh no, what you were trying to identify. You talking about the mobile suits or the subflights?
I know what that is. It's a Gundam. I meant the subflight systems. I don't remember their names. There's so many of them.
Dodai, I believe.
Well,
Dodai Kai.
Harper got himself a Dodai, which is better than nothing, though I know some people count it like the way they used to count weather balloons. I don't really know what that means, but Hunt says it a lot.
It's an old Middle Ages expression. Means a kill that doesn't really count, but I don't believe in that. Any enemy material loss is valid for a kill tally.
I don't know what the Middle Ages are, but I'll take your word for it. And he kind of puts his hands on his hips. Either way, I'm quite happy with myself. Bagged a Gundam.
And you
Took
should
out that
be,
Hyzak.
Hunt says. And also, Lieutenant Duos, they're victories, not kills. Please have some class.
Lance gives a salute to Hunt and goes, "That's right, ma'am. Ma'am, may I request that the Gundam be refitted for Second Lieutenant Duos?"
What?
She
What
rubs
do you
her
mean, what?
chin.
You're our ace pilot in our team. We bagged a Gundam. I took the Gundam as long as no one overrules it. I'm pretty sure I get to assign it to who I want, and I want to assign it to you. You're clearly the best pilot on the squad with the most experience. It's only logical.
I see no issues with this. You would
Thank
have
you,
to
ma'am.
talk to Captain Buser, of course.
Could
Can't.
I have your written recommendation?
I would offer my support to this. Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
Orders are orders, sir.
You're breaking up, Pancake. The Manovsky interference is getting you.
Orders are orders,
God
sir.
damn it.
I mean, this isn't an order. If you don't want to be in the Gundam, I'll find someone else who wants to be in it, but it makes sense to put you in it. Am I missing something?
Duos is unusually unnerved and off put by this.
Would you rather me throw Harper in it?
Like
I could
you've
do
only
that.
known him for 4 hours.
It's not a magical spirit, Second Lieutenant. It's just a machine.
All right, out of character, what kind of Gundam is it? Is it a Mark II? Is
It's
it
a
an
Mark II.
RX-78? Hmm.
My favorite.
I'll see how she fares during her paces, but I'm not going to be married to the thing just yet.
Alrighty. Well, if Duos doesn't get it, then I suppose I would recommend Harper for it too. Harper showed really good instincts out there, but I'll put Duos as primary, Harper as secondary, and then no further recommendations at this time. Sorry, Patch. I don't really think you're ready to handle a Gundam Mark II after how you reacted to it. Nothing against you though.
I wouldn't allow. I don't
Alright.
think I'd want him a Gundam anyways.
Fair enough. Anyways,
Don't you want it, sir?
a Gundam? What? No. Don't be silly.
Of
Oh,
course,
okay,
Lands.
okay.
You know, this feels like Land showing up to a dinner party in a suit but with no pants, then yelling at the guy, someone for like wearing improper dress code shoes. This is what this feels like right now.
Isn't that just him? Isn't that just like his character summed up in one sentence?
Oh, by the way,
It
now
feels
that we are back,
applicable.
I can describe what Lance wears into combat as a pilot, since he was also, probably to Duos' surprise, also not wearing a normal suit.
That's
He was
important information.
he was wearing a fatigue T-shirt, a flak vest, a field cap, a pair of field shorts, and combat boots.
Wait, is this just McMead?
No, he's not wearing the Hawaiian shirt.
Not the dad fit.
Yeah, but and with that, he raises his finger and he starts leading everyone to the pilot bar. But as he does, he's going to explain. To me, the Gundam is a crutch. I don't need it. You saw that well enough. If I can't just do what I do without some fancy super weapon, what's the point?
Wait one
But
moment, Pink Perry. I think there's something you might like to know.
oh, go ahead.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, there we go. I was just worried I lost connection again.
I assume a message is being typed up instead of said aloud.
Yeah, Gomine's being ominously quiet.
Sent.
Uh-oh.
Oh, okay, noted. And well, that doesn't change what Lance is saying, but
It gives
thank you.
flavor.
It does give additional flavor from my knowledge. Thank you. Lance just kind of continues and goes, "I'll do it all in a gym or whatever else the AEUG and Karaba give me. I don't need a Gundam, but at the same time, I'm not so stupid as to turn down a free wonder weapon." And it makes the most sense that our ace pilot should be the one in it. It would increase our combat effectiveness while also allowing me to focus on finding the strongest enemies and dueling them. That's really what I'm here for. I want a good fight and I want a fair fight. And if the Titans won't give me that, well, then
You'll look for an
I hurt
unfair
them.
fight. Parentheses
Yeah.
for himself.
Duos looks at lands. Well, I'm inclined to agree. Throughout my service in the 1 year war, I was never given something so advanced as a Gundam, but I'm superstitious about them. You know, I've always viewed Gundams as sort of a symbol of hope and the future of humanity, but I never thought of myself as a Gundam pilot, especially now.
That's very sentimental of you, but this is what you gotta understand, Duos. There just is no hope. Once you accept that, it doesn't matter. It's just another machine.
Nonsense. There's always hope. Hope for a better future. Hope humanity won't repeat the mistakes of the past. Granted, it's hard to have that hope right now, but with what we're doing, hopefully we can achieve it.
This is why there's an air of sorrow about you.
If you knew anything about me, you would know why I have this aura of sorrow.
Well, I already know because you still have hope. You just said it yourself.
You have a funny way of words, Lance.
And the more you hope, the more sorely you're disappointed by the chain of events that this history is going down. That's what Hunt said. You just got to do the job,
Interesting.
get it done, and enjoy life. Isn't that right,
It does
Patch?
certainly sound like something. Honestly, no,
Patch just. Oh,
I know I
Patch in
like
the
the
corner
idea
of
of
this
Lance constantly.
Mombasa bar, just looking very small.
yeah, this whole time he's just been. Are they like at the bar?
Yeah, the locals are giving you
Um.
free drinks because everyone
Okay.
hates the fucking Titans.
Um. He's just he's doing the staring at his drink, not really just kind of like swishing the ice cubes around in a circle, looking very lost in thought and like he really doesn't want to be there. Um, he's not having a good time. Um,
Patch,
and then, uh, yeah. Hi. Yes.
what do you think about hope?
About hope.
Yeah. I think there's no such thing as hope, and there's no point being hopeful for the future because humans are inevitably still an animalistic creature that will always resort to violence. But Duos here seems to think there's still hope in the human potential, and this has made him superstitious and sorrowful. Would you prefer to be superstitious, sorrowful, but hopeful, or would you prefer to live like me? What are your thoughts?
You see Land with a big fucking smile.
Well, if I may, I think I think there's still I think there's still good people out there, and I think that everybody has the capacity within them to become a good person if you given the right opportunity. I don't think anyone's really evil.
Well, yeah, we're not talking about fighting skill or anything. We're just talking about hope.
I know. I mean, just I guess I couldn't imagine. I I couldn't imagine waking up in the morning and not hoping that there's a better future that I'm progressing towards. I mean, what else? Why else would I be alive if I believe that?
To fight, drink, have fun.
Well, maybe that's good enough for you, but all those things, I don't know. I guess the world as it is, I want to believe it can get. And if I don't, I can't do all those other things. I'm just consumed with feeling like there's nothing I can do to change anything. And I don't like feeling like that.
I respect your opinion. I would counter with the evidence that the two most hopeful people in this team are the two most depressing people to talk to, though, as potentially counter evidence in the idea that hope is actually just a toxic trait that makes you sad. And
Well, then I guess I'm sad.
well, that wasn't ever up for debate, Patch.
Lands.
Harper, what do you think?
Actually, no, yes. Clyde, please, go first. Anything to add?
I don't know. I haven't had hope for a minute. I'm sure it'll come back any day now.
But did you have fun flying today? Lands leans over the table.
A little.
All right, a little's more than what these two have at the moment, so my theory is sound. Hope makes you sad. Being hopeless makes you happier.
Lands, I would like you to make me a keen awareness at a -3.
Okay, as is tradition. So just tell me you don't want me to pass the roll. Oh my
As
god.
this, oh,
Go on.
as Lance finishes that, Duos just takes his glass of whiskey, downs it in one shot, chews on an ice cube, and while chewing the ice says, "Well, that sounds nihilistic and depressing."
I'm happy as hell. Anyways, that is 3 failures.
You feel Hunt smack you on the back of the head.
Ah! Hey, Lieutenant Ma. Oh, no. Hello, Hunt.
Duos raises his eyebrow at the Freudian slip.
So long as we're
Harper's just giving a
alive,
salute.
hope still lives in the Earth sphere. Don't forget that.
Aye, aye, Commander. Duos raises his empty glass in a salute.
I couldn't agree more.
So long as the AEUG and Karaba still fight, things can still change. And considering how things are looking right now, I think the winds might be flowing in our direction.
Why is
Well,
that,
yeah, I
Lieutenant
never doubted we were
Commander?
going to win.
You know, Lance, you might not particularly care about the program, but you know, I do.
And that's why I'm here, because you care about it.
You all see her visibly sigh. You know, one of these days I'm going to get you to read her book and actually digest it.
I could barely read.
You know, I can still fix that, you know.
I think we're a little past the hope, and he grins, of me reading.
I disagree. And you see Hunt grab him by the ear and start walking away.
Wait, I'll see you all the next. Ow! And he grabs his glass as he's yanked away and downs it, and then gives a cheery wave, just seeming. I want to stress, nothing about what Lance says seems insincere. It is like he is just wearing everything on his sleeve. There's no hidden motive here. There's nothing. He's just here to fight. He's here to drink, and he's here to live.
Patch just kind of watches him go. And he's thinking about, what he's left behind, and his family. That normally after a mission or after training or whatever, it would be the same kind of like going out, spending time together, but with his family instead. And now he's here and surrounded by all of these people who, while not strangers, he still doesn't have like a super great relationship with any of them. Um, and he's trying to hide it, but he looks like he's a couple of unfortunate thoughts away from crying.
That's rough.
Duo shifts over to Patch. Well, you look like stamped shit.
Um, yeah, I feel that way too. Oh,
Hard to
fuck.
blame you.
I guess, I just wish less people could have died. But Lanes is right. I hesitated, and so I made a mistake, and I can't do that again.
You certainly can't, because if you hesitate again, it couldn't just be someone else's life on the line. It could be yours. And I agree. Or my younger self would agree that less people should have died. But unfortunately, if if by now everyone knows of the crimes of the Titans, especially those within it, if they don't surrender the first chance they get, they're committed to the cause.
But I at least want to give them that chance.
That's fair enough.
And I'm
Harper's just
glad
kind of
everybody here understands that.
Harper's just kind of quietly watching Patch to try and like make sense of his reactions. Still weighing the possibility of him being a spy, but he's probably gonna finally decide that it's not very likely.
As you think that, Clyde, you feel a hand fall on your shoulder. And it's Chevalier. Wonderful battle, wouldn't you say?
Oh, hey, Chevy.
Hello.
Harper's eye kind of twitches, and I wouldn't exactly describe it that, but we won. That's all that matters.
We won with very minimal losses. Why? He looks back a second. Do us. Do you remember the Earth landing operations, right?
Vaguely. I remember the second one around Dakar.
Well, then you should be very painfully aware of how easy that was for us. And I haven't had a battle quite as easy as that until right now. So I think today's been quite magnificent, actually.
I'm going to stop you there, Chevy.
Oh,
Up against, from what I've heard, the first Mechanized sure gave you Zeke boys a show, even with those fancy new Zaku 2s. They still took what they were given, and they took it well.
I thought you were a flyboy.
I was, but I've heard stories and run a few ground support missions for him as well.
Well, in North America, it was a cakewalk after the first 3 days. Well, until Mexico, that was.
Hey, Vinny,
Yeah,
do you give me a keen awareness roll?
I can do that. Um, yep. Okay. Whoa, come on. 3 successes.
You noticed something in Duos's breast pocket. It's a glasses case. I'm gonna leave it there.
Everyone, please regain D2 mind health.
I'm fully recovered.
Patch,
I
since you
regained 2 mind health.
Patch,
Yeah.
how heavily would you like to have drank that night? If you say yes, you may trade one body for 2 health.
There's something about this that Patch is trying very, very hard not to think about, and that's that his father now knows he's alive. So I think he may have indulged just a little bit to try and maybe has overindulged a tad here.
What would Firene think?
I know it's a
She'd be yelling at
how
you, forcing you to get up, per regulations, at 7 a.m. in the morning, just to teach you a lesson. What? And how's she gonna do that now?
exactly.
So please reduce your body by 1 and regain an additional 2 mind.
Okay. That's a 6.
Alrighty then.
Oh, I'm back to normal mentally now.
Does anyone have anything else that they'd like to do before I wrap up?
Harper's gonna pull out 2 pictures from a pocket in his mobile suit, and he's gonna hand them to the lieutenant.
Which
The
lieutenant?
first one's
There's
gonna be the Zeke lieutenant.
There's a lot of those.
One of them is going to be his house before the war, and one of them is going to be one after. Please don't mention Xeon ever again in my presence. Keep those. And he's just gonna take his drink and leave.
Well, he's a bad sport. The scene changes to Lieutenant Hunt. Wrong era. Commander Hunt talking to Colonel Mista, and they're chit chatting, and then the camera pans in on a map of East Africa, and there's just four units, brigades around Kilimanjaro, then one brigade aid marker down in Mombasa, and then the colonel moves the brigade marker at Mombasa up to Kilimanjaro.